There we go. We're good. Cool. Got about 2 minutes. Just let Malvin know it's going. Wow, the sun's coming out.
What color was Chicago?
Orange.
Okay.
Ready? Yes? Taylor? Taylor, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Troy, are you ready?
We are Detroit!
Chicago, are you ready?
Palms down! Palms down!
Grip down! Ready? Grip down! Hands up!
Hi, hello fans. Welcome here to the corner ballpark in downtown Detroit. We're here for this showdown here between the Chicago Prowl and the Detroit Innovators to determine who's going to be the final Kings of the North. At this point, we're a few minutes into the action. Right now, Chicago Prowl's up 20-10 against Detroit. So the winner of this game, Detroit's going to need a sweep and some help to move up or down the rankings, although theoretically they could actually end up in first. If Indy wins one game, then that gives them 4 wins and guarantees them first place in this conference of the North Division. So back to action. Detroit's got the ball, passes back, intercepted by Nathan Digman. Nathan's looking for a fast break. He's got some help. He's going for it. He passes it off to Emma, a little too far in front of her. Emma Vasquez scrapes it up. Jack Levy on defense right behind her. She passes it off to Byron. It looks like Chicago's going to try to reset the defense. Nope, they go behind the hoops to Nathan. Nathan's looking around, passes it up to Ali, and yep, looks like they're going to set up and wait for it. Chicago has control right now. Emma passes it over to Byron. Byron's looking around, passes it behind the hoops to Nathan. Nathan's looking around. Oh, quick pass to Ali, wide open by the hoops, and she puts it in. 30-10, Chicago's in the lead. So throughout that possession, looks like Chicago maintained control. So Noyes and Team USA beater Matt Brown are behind or around Chicago's hoops, holding on to control. Detroit's walking up. Kagan has got the ball. He passes it back behind the hoops to Jay Hart. Oh, interception by Nivash. He's looking for a fast break as well. And runs by Keegan. I don't know if he got that pass off. It was a long pass to Byron, but they're going to discuss it. I think they're going to say beat before, but we'll find out in a second. If not, that was a very good fast break. Great pass to Byron deep by the hoop, who caught it and put it in for the easy goal. Yep, they're calling that off for a pass after the beat. Looks like Nivash got beat just right before he started the motion to throw, so goal is no good. All right, we got line change for Detroit. Looks for the beaters. Looks like they're bringing in the Michigan pair of Ryan and Ray Brodeur. That's team helped a Michigan team that made a good run in USQ this past USQ season. Jack Levy at the top of the hoop passes it behind the hoops to Ethan Wanis, who looks like Ethan got beat and drops it immediately. Picked up by Emma Vasquez, passes it off to Byron. Looks like too late for a fast break on this one. Matt Brown and Ryan Stu dueling at the top, but it looks like Byron drives, passes behind the hoops. Oh, Ali manages to get the pass before it gets beat. Oh, Byron tried to pass across to Emma Vasquez. He had her wide open at the hoops, but it was a little high, a little fast, and went past her. It flies out of bounds, and it's going to be turnover to Detroit. Gwen Pratt is subbing for Detroit. Looks like Lindsay Smyers is coming in. Kagan's bringing it up towards center pitch right now, and we got another sub for Detroit. Number 15, Nick Love, coming in. Kagan walking it down the pitch. Michigan dealing with the beaters. Looks like we got a trade. Meanwhile, Liam tackles Kagan on the drive. Recovered by Cole. Kagan gets beat after a tackle, and Liam picks up the ball, and Chicago's on the run for offense. Liam gets wrapped up, passes it off to Nivash. Nivash is looking for driving in, runs into Ethan Wanis, gets beat, and it looks like a turnover. It's going to end up in Detroit. Yep. Meanwhile, Chicago does manage to maintain bludger control. Ryan Stu looks like he's going down. He gets beat, but he kicks the ball back. Ray Burrow's going to pick that up, but Detroit's going to need some help if they're going to score here. All right, Detroit's got possession of the quad ball. They're standing around near the top of the keeper zone. Current score is 30-10. Chicago's in the lead. Kagan walking down center pitch. Oh, Ray gets beat. And Ryan's got to go pick it up, and so there's no beater assistance on on Detroit right now. And we got a beat behind the hoops. And looks like Liam's picking it up, and yep, is the defender that was on him. Lucas gets beat, and Chicago's Prowl's going to transitioning to offense now. Liam's got the ball, walking across the center, about 10 yards from the keeper zone. Passes it off to rides it around. Oh, Chicago goes around the world, doesn't see anything, bounces it back up to the top. Oh, Kaylee's got it on the side. Oh, gets tackled by Lucas, wrapped up. She's being held. I don't think. Yep. It's a turnover. She gets beat. And Ryan Stu's going for dodgeball control. Oh, he gets a face beat on Colin Gaines. Colin goes down hard, but he gets back up. Doesn't look like anybody saw it. Well, or they didn't think it was a penalty, so no penalty on that throw. Kagan passes it off, gets beat. This ball goes to Nick Love behind the hoops. Nick gets wrapped up by Peachy, but manages to escape the tackle. Passes it back up to the top. Nobody there. And number 11 for Detroit comes back. Oh, pass behind the hoops to Lucas Markland for a wonderful dunk. What a catch by what a pass and what a catch by Lucas. They caught that one hand and just run it through the back hoops. That was a great play by Lucas. And that was Rob Butler. No. Yep, that was Rob Butler. He usually plays beater, but playing keeper on that play with the pass behind the hoops. And goal is good after review. Don't know what they were looking for on that one, but yeah, everything looked cleaned, and the refs agreed, and 30-20 now. Chicago's still in the lead, but Detroit's playing them very closely. So yeah, scoreboard hasn't updated yet, but it's 30-20 right now. Probably about 6 or so minutes in. Dana, scoreboard. Oh, they got it, thank you. All right, Chicago's got the ball, passes it back behind the hoops, goes back up top to Nathan Digman at the top of the hoops. He passes to Emma Vesquez. She throws it through, and looks like the refs are gonna be discussing beat before on this one. Looks like she might have gotten it off, might not have. We don't know. We'll find out soon. That was a good look there by Nathan Digman to Emma. Pass was low, and Emma was still able to corral it and get it through the hoop in a decently fast manner. Right now, Caleb Williams and Matthew Brown. Oh, no good. Beat before. That's what I would have leaned to, too. Great call by the refs on that one. Chicago does have dodgeball control right now. And it looks like, Peachy recovered that ball, so a great double tap by Chicago Prowl on that one. Double tap being basically continuing to play the play as if, they might not have scored, which in this case they didn't, so they maintained control of the quad ball. Diggy Nathan drives forward, shoots it through the center hoop, and absolutely nails it. And it looks like we got another stoppage of play. It's because the quad ball is currently rolling halfway to the Canadian border right now, so they're going to have our player fetch it and come right back. Well, Chicago just scored, so it should be 40 now. But yeah, they hadn't put up the Detroit in a while. But yeah, so we got 40-20 right now. Do you guys know game time?
Let me check.
Christina! Can you hear? Check 7:49!
Does your phone zoom in? Yeah, it does zoom in.
Whistle!
What'd you say? Dana, what'd you say?
7:39. That's the time.
What was the first one?
7:39.
Oh, game time is 7:45 right now. Oh, crushing on the commentary. Thank you. I didn't know you guys could hear me. I was worried I was just talking to myself. All right, we got some beater play behind the hoops, and it looks like Chicago's gonna end up with control. Matt Brown throws a beat, misses it, but regains pleasure control, so it's all right. Meanwhile, Nathan recovers, passes it off to Byron, shoots, he scores! What a pass. Way to be there, Byron. Chicago's really showing their fast break prowess right now. So, we got some subs. It looks like 50-20 right now, and yep, we're gonna have a timeout by Detroit. Game time is about 8:10 right now. Detroit's been playing Chicago very close up till the past couple of minutes when Chicago Prowl's fast break seemed to take over, and they got 3 quick goals and only gave up 1 in the process. So, this game's unfolding about how we'd expect right now. Actually, probably Detroit's probably playing Chicago a little closer than we'd expect, we think. Zoom. Okay, yeah, you can zoom in a little bit.
Zoom in and out, just keep it.
Oh. Cool. Getting some camera instructions from up above. All right, so been a good game so far. It seems as Detroit's beaters have been able to hang with Chicago's beaters. So both teams here are playing some very good beaters. Cool. On Chicago's side, Matt Brown, Team USA Matt Brown, has been playing a fair amount of points. On Detroit's side, they've been anchored by a pair of beaters from Michigan University in Ray Brodeur and Ryan Sue. And also with some help from Marissa Weir as well, who's been a long time vet of this game, an extremely good beater as well. And it's been pretty close, but it looks like Detroit just subbed out their beater pair for former Indy player Dustin Minnick, and his beater partner will be number 51, Brooke Smiley. So Rob Butler gets tackled by Emma Vesquez at the top, manages to pass it away to Nick Love behind the hoops. Nick Love's way at the corner, looking around. No one's charging him, so he's looking around. Now Byron's on him, goes for a tackle, passes it off to Lucas. Lucas looking around for a pass. Gets tackled, but passes it off. Intercepted by Emma, and Emma's going for this fast break. She's got Diggy on her left, and she gets beat, but they're going to call, no good, beat before. Oh, good try on that one. She might have had Nathan on her left, I don't know. But it's a good shot from far distance. She just needed to release it a little sooner to put that through. Good beat on that play by number 51, Brooke Smiley, as well, to save that goal for Detroit. Jack Levy's bringing it up just across mid-pitch. He's at the center. He's looking around. Chicago has bludger control, or has dodgeball control as they have for most of this game. We got to beat behind the hoops, and we're going to call, yep, I'm assuming we're going to call a hit after beat on that one. It's going to be a quad ball turnover, and it looks like that's the call. The quad ball's heading it off to Nathan while we stop play. They're going to reset the players and remote, and we're going to be back in the action. Current score, 50 Chicago, 20 to Detroit. Game time is roughly 9:30. And Chicago on the fast break. Caleb blows up Brooke. Diggy passes it off to Allie, and Allie dunks it in for the goal. 60-20. Chicago increases their lead. That's the kind of fast break we'd expected to see from Chicago. They love the fast break in transition. They have a deep roster. So whereas a lot of teams tend to play the same kind of core starting group for like half the game, Chicago constantly rotates out. It allows them to keep a very high, fast-paced game and continue to run a fast break the entire game while tiring other teams out. So Jack Levy passes it off to Kagan. Kagan's looking around the left side, passes behind the hoops, intercepted by Liam Zach. It looks like Chicago's on the fast break again. Liam crosses center hoop, passes it down to Nevi. She's wide open and shoots it through for the goal, 70-20. And we got another timeout because it looks like the shot was also a soccer goal, so they're going to retrieve it from the net as well. Unfortunately, no bonus points for the soccer goal. Just a stoppage of play, so I guess your bonus is a rest. So, fast breaking lately on Chicago. They've really turned it up lately, and without bludger control or a bludger back, Detroit's really had problems stopping these fast breaks. The beater pair right now for Chicago, Tim Kwan, Team Hong Kong at the past World Cup, and Noyes. So, we got a throw on Tim from Brooke. It's a miss. Meanwhile, Liam Zach strips the ball from Levi and gets an easy fast break goal off by himself. That was a quick tackle and steal by Liam. They really took care of that one. That was well done. So, Jack's got the ball, passes it up to Kagan to restart play. Tim Kwan's at the top of the hoops, fending off Brooke Smiley, and it looks like she got immunity off. Ooh. Oh, looks like we got an injury right in front of us, though. Dustin Minnick is down. So don't know what happened to that play. We have a quick little injury on Dustin. Looks like he's starting to get up. He'll be okay. But yeah, judging by the way they're feeling, looks like a ankle injury. Hopefully they're all right though. Dustin, coming from Ball State University, played on that team for a couple of years. And now has been bouncing around Indy as of late, and then now just recently is playing for Detroit. Fair amount of beat experience there, so hopefully not injured too bad, because Detroit could definitely use the beater depth today. And he's walking off the pitch. That's definitely a good sign. Hopefully just a small ankle tweak, and he'll be back in a couple of minutes without too much harm. So current score is 80 Chicago. I'm going to do that for the next 3 years. 80 Chicago, 20 Detroit. Chicago's really turned the fast break on as of late, and Detroit has not been able to counter it very much. It looks like they're just had beaters behind on offense a lot, so when there is a turnover, Chicago's able to run, and they have no beater control to help them. Shot by Ethan, more of a punt, blocked by Ali, and ends up in Nivash's hands. Nivash bring it up to cross the center pitch. Nivash just played for India in Team World this past weekend. Did a good job with them. Passes it off to Liam Zach. They pass it behind the hoops to Cole. It's a little too high though, and it's fumbled out of bounds. So it's gonna be Detroit ball behind the hoops. Jack Levy's gonna inbound it. Brooke Smiley's retrieving a bludger back there. She's gonna hang it out to their new beater, Ryan Swanson, who was the sub for Dustin Minnick. And Brooke's gonna take a sub and bring in Marissa. So we'll have to see if Marissa's able to turn around their fortunes at the beater game. Chicago's had bludger control pretty much this entire game. And if they're gonna stop the fast break, Detroit's gonna need to have that bludger more often. So Ryan throws or trades with Noyes. Oh, he catches it from Tim Kwan and then beats him. It looks like Detroit's going to have bludger control for the final time. Meanwhile, the shot by Detroit is no good, and it's recovered by Nivash. However, No goal for Detroit, but they did get bludger control for the first time maybe this game, which is good for them. They need to have that if they're going to slow down Chicago and if they're going to be able to find some more scoring on offense. So Nathan Digman back in for Chicago. 2 weeks ago, Nathan was the player of the week, putting up a double-double. Interestingly, though, in scores and blocks, in stops, not in assists like you'd probably expect. Nathan's got the ball. Kagan on defense. They rotate. Nathan's got center. He's looking around. Adjusts his headband. Gwen Pratt comes up for a tackle and retreats back. Nathan passes it off to Peachy. Peachy crosses the court to Alyssa Morasso, who fumbles it a little bit but recovers. Throws it back behind hoops to Grant Himmelman. Grant gets wrapped up and manages to get the ball out towards Peachy. It goes by him, but it gets recovered by Nathan. So it's a good save there. Meanwhile, we have a delayed penalty. And it looks like, by the way, the refs were pointing, it's going to be against Chicago. And it is. Oh, okay, they're calling Grant off Broom before he threw the ball. That's a very good catch. It's hard to catch that. So good call by the ref crew on that one. So turnover by Chicago, and looks though like Chicago managed to maintain recover bludger control in that process. Marissa kicks the bludger back to Ryan. Meanwhile, Jack Levy sneaks up and shoots for an easy goal. Well done, Jack. Jack, as part of that Michigan team, was a very good shooter. Chicago needs to keep an eye out on Jack, or Jack will tear them apart. He is very good at aiming his shots and timing them as well. And it looks like we had a quick pass from Nathan there to Peachy for an easy dunk. If Nathan wants to get a double-double again, he's going to get it via assist today because he's very good on the pass so far. Good goal by Peach there as well with the catch. Nice cut, looking good. Score is 90-30. Chicago's in the lead. Game time, we're going to estimate around 12 minutes right now. We'll get you the game time as soon as we can. Detroit's bringing it up. Kagan's at center line. Ryan Swanson is holding the main one dodgeball, while Marissa's going behind the seal. So there's a pass from Kagan to Ethan, who just walks in and dunks it. It looks like they timed that perfectly with beater play for the easy dunk. Recovery by Chicago is from Nathan, who passes it up the head to Peachy. Chicago's trying to fast break a little bit. Peachy passes it off to Diggy, and Diggy, great pass. Recovered. Pass was to Alyssa, who missed the shot but deflects it to Grant, who recovers it and dunks it in for an easy goal. Welcome to the Chicago Prowl for MLQ, Mr. Grant Himmelman. That's their first goal, as they did not roster 2 weeks ago for Minneapolis. So game time is 14:20. Scores 100-40. Detroit's walking it up. They switched back to the Michigan beater core of Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur. They're walking up, flanking Kagan Miller. Kagan's looking around for a pass. Meanwhile, it looks like Ray's trying to challenge Matt a little bit. They get Kagan passes behind the hoops really far, but overshoots chaser Lindsey Smyers, and it's out of bounds. It's going to be inbounded by Grant Himmelman. Michigan beaters retreat. Look like they're going to try and set up defense. Look, that retreat was a good quick retreat. It tells me they're trying to stop the fast break on that one, which definitely would be a good idea for Detroit. Chicago scored a lot of points off fast break in the past 5 or 10 minutes. So Emma Vessel's got it, passes it off to Byron. All the action right now is on Detroit's half of the pitch. Mike Moreau throws it back and goes for 1.5, but inadvertently takes out the center hoop. Pass to Kaylee is fumbled and she gets beat, and now it's fast break from Detroit. Nick Love runs down, goes for the dunk, and is rejected by Byron Ing. Recovered by by Kagan. Kagan passes it off. Pass off to Lindsey Smyers. He fakes the player out and puts it through the hoop. Detroit 50. Detroit 50, Chicago 10. Detroit has been scoring pretty well against the Chicago D. That's usually a very stout D. They held Minneapolis to less points than this. It looks like there's a little bit of sloppiness on Chicago's D. They're letting off some decently easy shots. And that was just a great play on Detroit to really pass the ball around and take advantage of the fast break opportunity they had to never let Chicago get set on their D. And it was very well done. It looked like a very veteran player from Detroit. So this is definitely closer than I think we'd expect at this point in the game. We're sitting around the 16 or so minute mark. At this point, it's a flag catch by Detroit would really put some pressure on Chicago. So Chicago needs one win in this series to guarantee first place in their conference going into the North Division championships in 3 weeks. Detroit looking like they don't want to hand them that win easily at all. So, bludger control right now is in that Michigan pair, Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur. Very good playing together. And they're facing off against Colin Gaines and Mike Marowick. Beat by Colin, and then Colin gets beat, so it looks like they're not going to get bludger control back in the next couple of minutes. Kaylee Fugate gets a pass off but gets beat in the process. Cole Collins goes to Byron on the side. Byron's looking around. Oh, got some bludger or some dodgeball play now back by Indy. So Ray's by herself. Oh, shot by Cole Collins is in. Detroit pulled all their beaters back, and the defense opened up for Cole Collins, and he took a fairly far away shot from a little bit past the keeper zone and puts it in on a small hoop. 110-50. Chicago extends their lead. Now, Rob Butler for Detroit bringing it down. Just walking it down Main Street. Ray and Ryan are controlling the front of the hoops, and Mike Marowick's covering the hoops on their side, on Chicago's side. Passes to Nikolov. Nikolov passes it back, beats the beater out, and they got a Lucas cutting. And Lucas catches it, backhands it in. Don't know where the Chicago's defense was on that one, but I feel like that should not have happened that easily. Detroit's running a bit of a press. 110-60. Chicago's in the lead. Cole Collins bringing it down. Colin Gaines gets beat for Chicago. Mark Marowick's chasing a bludger, so there's only one bludger right now on the field, and it's in the hands of Ryan Sue. Chicago's passing back and forth up against the top. Cole Collins fakes out and passes the ball off. Oh, too far though. It's a little behind. It looks like it gets saved though by Byron Reading behind the hoops, who gets beat but passes it back up to Cole. Cole's on the right side. He's looking. Rob Butler's pressuring him. Passes it across the center. And it looks like we're going to have a stoppage of play. I think there might be a discussion here about if the ball went out of bounds or not. We'll see. Right now, the Dodgeballs are in possession. It looks like, once again, Detroit. This beater pair for Detroit of Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur has really been turning up lately, and I think that's why Detroit's been able to keep the scoring pace very similar to Indy with Chicago as of late. As a review, it looks like we got... Yep, it looks like Byron Ing, when he saved the ball behind the hoops, managed to touch it while he was standing on the line. So it's going to be a quad ball turnover inbounded by Lucas Markland behind the hoops. And they walk it in. Detroit is going to do some subs. Looks like they're going to bring in Gwen Pratt and Kagan Madeline back in. So Detroit having some good luck with this beater pair of Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur. They're bringing it up slowly. Chicago, Prowl, looks like they're in it looks like they're in hoop zone right now. So beat up top. Kagan drives, passes to Gwen, running behind the hoops. She gets beat too, but passes it off in the process to Kagan, who catches the ball and shoots it over the sky, hooks it over Cole Collins for a goal.
Gwen's they, by the way.
Oh, my apologies. Gwen's they, them. We'll get that for you next time. Sorry, Gwen. So, subs on Chicago, line switch. They're bringing back in Matt Brown and Tim Kwan. Looks like they want to maintain some dodgeball control that they have not had as of late. Score is 110 Chicago, 70 Detroit. They're closing the lead. Liam Zach brings it down, passes off to Nathan on the left. Nathan passes it back to Liam. They're looking around. Matt Brown stalking the center area. Liam passes it to Ali Manzella on the right. Ali goes back to Liam. Bounce pass, works fine on turf. We're all good. Liam passes it off. Nathan drives, looking for anything. Shoots no good, but we're going to have looks like we're going to have a delayed penalty on... I think they're passing to Chicago. We'll find out. Looks like beater Matt Brown was beat on the right side of the field, and Ray's standing over a bludger. We're going to have a play here for this third bludger. It looks like Tim Kwan's in the area and is holding one, and Ray's got one as well. So there's going to be a race for that bludger to see where it is. Oh, it looks actually like it's going to be a sign. It might be a sign. Oh, that doesn't matter. We're going to have a yellow card on Tim Kwan for, I believe, it's an illegal wrap from behind. That's going to give Ryan Sue the ball. So Detroit's going to be in an interesting position right now. The only beater in play for Chicago is Matt Brown, and Matt just got beat. So if I'm Detroit, I'm fast breaking, and that's just what they do. They are taking off. Ryan Sue gets two beats as they run back down. Kagan's got the ball. He's coming down. Liam runs up, gets a wrap on Kagan, but looks like we got a delayed penalty again. Passes it off. Oh, Ethan Wallace drives in over the Chicago chaser. It shoots and scores. This Trees defense not working great for Chicago. They're letting way too many open, easy shots for Detroit, and they are taking advantage of them. Detroit, I believe, really stealing some pages out of Michigan's book, Michigan's offense, specifically with their shooting game. Michigan used this extremely well the past USQ season. Looks like we're not going to have a stoppage of play for the penalty. Oh, I'm sorry, no penalty is going to be educated. And the score is 120 Chicago, 80 Detroit. Nathan Digman bringing it down the pitch for Chicago. Across the center pitch, he's got, looks like Ben Peachy behind the hoops and passes it off to Liam on his left. He's got flanked by Ali Manziel on the right. Liam's going forward, passes it back out. Bludger control right now in the hands of Detroit. Nathan runs forward, gets it beat, tries to shoot, is well over the top. That ball's going to be out of bounds and turned over to Kagan. Meanwhile, some fast and furious beater play. Looks like Matt Brown's going to get beat though, and oh, both beaters got beat. There's a dodgeball down, and Detroit's going to have control. But a pass to Ethan Wanis, who fumbled and picked up by Nathan. That's a bad opportunity Detroit just wasted. They had bludger control, they had dodgeball control, and the third one was on the ground on their pitch. They really needed to score there, and they didn't. The score is 110 Chicago, 80. We are within range. Matt Brown gets a beat, and it looks like finally Chicago's going to bludger control for the first time in a while. Meanwhile, Nathan Digman drives forward, passes to a cutting Ben Peachy, who catches it and shoots it in for the goal. I think that goal is going to stand. And yes, we are at the 20-minute mark. This is much closer than we expected at this point. Indy scoring 12 sounds about right for their pace, but giving up 8 goals, not normal. Detroit has done a great job, especially as of late, of picking apart this hoop zone defense of Chicago and getting their shots in from really not great angles, but putting them in because the hoops are open. So this is a similar tactic Michigan used a lot in the USQ season. If you time it right, where you get a beat you get an off-ball beat on a chaser that's guarding one of the 3 hoops, they've got about a 2-second window where that where that chaser has to run in on the center hoop, touch it, tag back in, and get back into that way of the shot on the hoop. But Michigan's timing on this is fantastic. They almost have it where like the beater and the chaser will throw at the same time, so there's no way you can stop it, because even if the middle hoop, even who's ever guarding the middle hoop flies to the side, they're still not going to get there in time before that ball goes through the hoop. So, and Michigan is running that to a T, especially with the combination of the beater pair of Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur and Jack Levy shooting. It's a hard combination to stop. Be curious to see if Indy switches out of this defense into some kind of maybe a man defense or a 2-2, anything to get more action at the top of the hoops and prevent some of these fast shots from Detroit. They've been doing a good job lately. It'd be interesting to see if Michigan's as successful, or if Detroit's as successful, if we're running this, if they don't have bludger control. So back to action. Nick Love's got the ball, crosses the center line. And Liam comes up and he runs by them and he goes behind the hoops. We got a beat on their, what would be Nick's option for punt, and he's looking around, he shoots it, easily blocked, recovered by Detroit. They are tackled and then beat, and then it's recovered by Liam, and they're driving down the side. Looks like Lucas Marklin and Noyes are the seekers going up against Derek Parker, who's a top-tier flag runner. So this might take a while on the flag running side. Lots of beater action. Kagan gets beat but passes the ball off to Nick Love. Nick Love's got it, but he's got very little backup. He's got Gwen Pratt behind the hoops and 4 chasers on Chicago. Not a good situation. Passes it to Gwen. Gwen's looking around, drives a little bit, fakes out Digman. Oh, goes for a shot, but it gets blocked. Nick Love trying for the recovery, manages to pick it up, and he somehow puts it in. What a great play. That was all Nick Love on that one. Well done. If you need to highlight real Nick Love, find that play. Picked up by Diggy. Nathan Digman to restart play, passes it off to Liam. Meanwhile, it looks like we have a delayed penalty called by the refs.
Okay, hold up. Okay, so this beat was after the whistle? Yes. So you get your ball back.
So we got some beater play to educate over here. Educate, I love that word. I've never used it till quad ball. Still only use it during quad ball. Now, it looks like we have 2 balls on the ground while they discuss everything. So, no clue what's going on here. Meanwhile, the Chicago Prowl defense still not Still not doing hot. That play was especially demoralizing for them. They've got 4 chasers on Detroit's 2 and could not get a stop. Don't know what it is, but Chicago's defense not looking great right now. Meanwhile, Detroit's offense showing a lot of scrappiness they didn't really seem to have late games against Minneapolis back when they played them earlier this year. It seems like Rick Wasser, their chaser, had a lot of those scrappy plays, and then once he went down with an injury, it was kind of hard to get their offense going. And even without Wasser, who's still injured this series, their chasers have really just turned it around. I think the addition of Jack Levy being added to this game was a big help. I think Jack's really a good shooting threat that Chicago was not ready for, and he's been putting in some really good work from outside the hoops. But meanwhile, Lucas Marlin, Ethan Wanis, and Kagan as well have been doing some good passing and some just good scrappy plays. And of course, Ethan Love, that last play was chef's kiss on that one. So it looks like finally that it's going to be a blue card on Seeker play. Dana, what was that for? Illegal swat. Swatting for Seekers. Love it. Very beneficial, but got to do it legally. So it looks like the call for that one was Ethan was beat and then swatted again. So Seekers have the same rules as Chasers. Like you can swat, but it has to be the first motion. So on this over here, it looks like Ryan Swanson Doves tried to swing the ball back, and they did, but it was still recovered by Tim Kwan, who chased it down. So, Noyce, very close on that catch, but Parker barely deflected him. That's the sort of play you see by a top-tier flag runner, and that's what you get in Parker. All right, Chicago on offense, passes it back to Emma Vasquez. Emma passes it off to Nathan. Gwen Pratt applies the defense. Nathan behind the hoop, passes behind the hoops to Ben Peachy. Peachy passes back up to Emma Vasquez. Center, tries to go for a pass, gets deflected, and it's picked up by number 98, Ryan Fleahy on Detroit. They get tackled and lose the ball. It goes back to Chicago. There's another tackle. It's recovered by looks like Gwen Pratt, who gets off to Rob Butler, the keeper, but he's out of the zone. Passes it up to Gwen Pratt. Gwen's got Tim Kwan. Passes it across. Kwan beats Gwen, and Gwen's got to retreat. Meanwhile, Ethan Love's driving forward, gets wrapped up, passes it behind the hoops. Nick Love. Passes it behind the hoops to looks like that was Brian Fleahy, but they missed the shot. It's Nathan's got it driving fast. Pass it off to gets a pass off, but not a great one to Ali. She recovers it, backhands it to Nathan, who's on the ground and can't get back to it as fast enough. Recovery by Gwen Pratt, and it looks like we're gonna have a timeout. It looks like Nathan is injured. Nathan Digman was interested. I was confused why Nathan wasn't going for that play, and I think he's injured. Meanwhile, it looks like we're gonna have an interesting situation here on the fast break. Gwen has got Emma Vasquez in front of her, and if that's not enough, I think we've got Tim Kwan with a bludger. I don't like the odds on this fast break, but we'll see. Chicago does have essentially has bludger control. Tim Kwan's got one on the ground, but they're going to be able to jog over and grab it pretty quickly. Meanwhile, the other one's being held by Matt Brown, but he is on the flag runner, Derek Parker, to make sure that Detroit doesn't get a catch. Because right now, a catch by Detroit really opens this game up, because it would give Detroit, it would tie the score at essentially a tie at 120-125, because the 5 points don't matter. It's just for scorekeeping reasons. The ball is going to go back to Peachy. It looks like Nathan Digman isn't injured. Looks like it's for some other reason. Pass from Peachy to Ali Manzella, and she catches it, dunks it for an easy goal, and that releases the Seeker from the penalty box. Meanwhile, Melanie Roth, Seeker for Chicago, getting some time with Derek Parker. Derek keeping her at bay though. Caleb Williams, Matt Brown have dodgeball control for Chicago, and Ethan Wanis, the Seeker for Detroit, gets beat. Meanwhile, on offense, Jack Levy bringing it up, passes it off. He gets passed it behind the Keegan behind the hoop, shoots it over the top, no good. And looks like, are they going to save it? They do. Jack Levi with a great save. He manages to pass it off to Lindsey Smyers. But we're going to have a delayed penalty again. Lots of penalties in this game. Lots of teams. This was not a penalty. We have a deflated bludger. Yeah. As our photographer explained, that's annihilated. It's always funny because they put that on the ref test and people say, when is this going to happen? I can tell you, once a year, somebody pops a bludger. So that's an instant stoppage of play. And no penalty on the play, but just a stoppage of play to replace the bludger. Current score, 130 Chicago, 90 Detroit. Much closer than people probably expected at this time. Detroit's doing a good job of getting some scrappy points on offense and really taking advantage of their shooting. They had a good run where they put up about 50 points when Ryan Sue and Ray Berder were in with dodgeball control. They did a very good job of keeping control that entire time. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was a bludger pop at Chicago versus Minneapolis. All right, we resume play. Oh, I almost get taken up by a bludger. I can't be beat that off the tag back in. It's great. Meanwhile, Flehy. Oh, we're gonna have some stoppage of play. It looks like Flehy's trying to drive. It looks like that would have been against Byron Ing and Emma Vasquez. I don't like the odds. We'll have to see. I think Jack Levy's right next to them on broom as well, but behind them is Nivash. So lots of chasers in a very close area. We're gonna see what happens when we resume play. Caleb Williams waving to the camera. Hello, Caleb. So it looks like we got Ryan Sue and Ray Berder beating for Detroit behind they're pretty close. They're in their own keeper zone. Not a great spot to be considering all the action going on by the other side of the pitch. Looks like we're gonna resume play. Quad ball turnover to Chicago, and looks like they're gonna do a fast break. Byron Ing passes up to Nivash, but he drops it and then gets beat. Plus the ball gets deflected away. Oh, but it's recovered by Cole Collins. Scrappy play by them. Cole rockets it back up top over Byron Ing's head, and it looks like Byron's going to save it, though. All right, so Melanie Roth getting some free time with the flag runner. Byron Ing bringing it down for Chicago, driving it to the right, looking around. He runs right around all the way to the behind the hoops. Full speed. He's running around. He looks like a shot. Misses it. No good. It's low. And Kagan recovers the shot, and it's going to be Detroit walking it up. Matt Brown clear on a beat attempt, but it's going to go pretty far. Ryan Sue's going to have to travel for that one. Meanwhile, the quad ball goes up to Smyers. Fumbled by Jack Levy. It ends up in Nivash's hands. Nivash gets tackled, but he's got back up. Oh, beat miss right in front of Ryan Sue, and he's got to chase that down. This is going to give Noyes some good time. Meanwhile, Cole Collins recovers the ball, passes it forward to Nivash. Nivash Sharam catches it and puts it one-handed through the hoop for a goal. Another stoppage of play. It looks like we're going to be chasing a quad ball that was trying to get a drink from the nearby river. Oh, that ball is flying far. They're going to have to move that player down. That ball might have... Whew. Looks like Ryan Sue's going to come back, but he's all the way behind Chicago's hoop line. Meanwhile, Noyes gets some time with the seeker. No good. Ryan Sue gets beat, tries to pass it off to Ray, and she's going to get it. Meanwhile, Detroit's walking it up. Oh,
73.
Oh, almost took me out again. All right, Noyes gets some good action, but no good catching. Meanwhile, we have a stoppage of play. I don't think it's for taking out this broadcaster. I wish it was. But, Derek, looking good. I think we've had one maybe close, but it wasn't that close. You're doing good. Meanwhile,
Yeah, you're like the magnet. I
know. I've never had to dodge so much, but it's been great. That's all right, Ray. You good? All right. Looks like quad ball is in the hands of Kagan Madline for Detroit. Kagan's got Liam in front of him, Jack Levy on his left. He's got Nivash in front of them. So, got a lot of action potential right now. Have to see how this turns out for Detroit. Current score is 140 Chicago, 90 Detroit. They're going to pass it over to number 3, who just has the ball stripped by Byron. Byron's going to try this fast break, and they're going down. And Byron's running all by himself. Pass it off to Nivash right before contact. Nivash easy catch and dunk. Looks like Jack Levy lost track of Nivash and run it right, resulted in the wide open goal. Noyes getting some good action over here with Derek Parker, becoming really good friends, but not becoming a snitch. A flag runner catch. Oh, it looked like it was close on that one. Meanwhile, new chaser in for Detroit. Number 67, Thomas Ware. And it looks like we're going to have a pass. It's going to fumble and it's being inbounded by Ben Peachy. Ben brings it in pretty quickly. Pass it behind the hoops to Nivash. Oh, he's at the hoop line. Pass it straight across. Oh! Ooh, no good. High pass to Ali. She managed to catch it and put on a shot, but it looks like the shot rolled just barely out. No good. Recovered by Detroit. Detroit's got the ball. They're bringing it up. Looks like Rob Butler's back in a keeper. They're bringing it up. Meanwhile, flag runner sub for Chicago. They're bringing in Melanie Roth. Rob Butler's got it, bringing it up at the right flank, passes it off to Jack Levi near the center. Jack, Levi, Zach, they're applying a lot of pressure. Passes it back around between Rob and Levi. Levi's walking up the center now. He's got Nevash in front of him. Looks like Indy's still running a... Looks like Indy swapped to a 2-2 after not having some success with the hoop zone. Passes it off to Rob. Rob's running behind the hoops on the right side. Matt Brown playing defense. Looks like they're... Indy's wanting to stop some offense on Detroit. Meanwhile, Rob Butler drives, goes for a shot, no good over the hoops. Recovered by Nevash. Nevash fast breaking. Nevash runs across half. He's got Jack on him, but he outruns him to the side, runs it on the right, shoots it, no good. Recovery by Jack Levi. Looks like Nevash had an awkward angle on that one. We're going to have a delayed penalty in the meantime by Detroit. Current score, 150 Chicago, 90 Detroit, probably around the 24th or so minute mark. Melanie Ruff's in at seeker for Chicago. Derek Parker finally showing some signs of having to breathe hard, maybe a little bit. He's laughing at me. I think he's fine.
My mouth is more dry than
I gotcha. It's a little dry out here. Well, then again, after being in Richmond last weekend, anything is drier than that. Here the humidity was 140%. It was great. We had to swim to the pitches between games. Much better weather conditions here in Detroit. It's cloudy, maybe mid-70s. Gorgeous. Love it. Meanwhile, looks there is a penalty on number 67, Thomas Weir for Detroit. They're going to spend some time in the sin bin. Quad ball turnover is going to go to Nevash Jairam. He's going to have, it looks like he's going to have some, oh, he goes center hoop, but he misses it. He had that shot, but he just put it a little wide. Recovery, Rob Butler behind the hoops. And they're going to walk it up. Meanwhile, Marissa is in at beater with Ryan Swanson. Oh, beat, missed. And that's going to go flying back. So.
Was that on that side?
Oh, yep. Looked like a good tackle by Liam, but there's a stoppage of play. This might be for contact below the knees. We'll find out soon. Meanwhile, Marissa Weir has, oh, no card. Looks like they're going to call that tackle legal. Marissa Weir's at the flag runners / Derek Parker, our flag runner, and Melanie Roth. And it looks like she's going to be able to make a quick beat here. Same with Matt Brown and Rob Butler. So Rob's going to try and get this pass off. We're going to have to see what Rob does. It looks like Rob might go to the right, but if he does, it might get intercepted by Nathan, who might just try to go for a double-double with steals. We don't know. We'll find out. And Caleb Williams over by Chicago's got the third dodgeball. And here we go. Butler punts, and it's intercepted by Ben Peachy after about 10 yards. Nathan's on the right, but Peachy doesn't need no help, and he shoots it in himself for a fast break goal. That's going to increase Indy's lead to 150-90. Chicago has done a much better job of scoring since the stoppage to bring the flag runner into play. It looks like they've maintained bludger control as they've really stepped up their beater line, and they've really maintained most of the bludger control the entire time here. All right, Nathan wraps up. Thomas Rear gets the fumble. Oh, clear. Oh, we got some turnover and some fumbling. It looks like Thomas Weir ended up with the ball, and he went for a shot, and yeah, it looks like Ben Peachy's walking to the hoops. As soon as they stopped play, he knew what happened. His tackle was high on Thomas Weir, and Thomas is going to get the ball back, but he's got Matt Brown right on the beat next to him, so I don't think he's going to be able to do much with this. Yep, so he passes it off to Nathan Love. Oh, his shot is intercepted by Nathan, who picks it up with one hand. Oh, what a tough luck on that one. Chicago has really turned the defense up as of late. I apologize for calling them Indy. We'll work on that. It'll be 2 more years, I promise. Nathan brings it across the center line. He's got a lot of people in front of him. Passes it up to Ali Manzella. Ali's got some on it as well. Oh, gets beat by Liam. Oh, ball out. Oh no! Ali Manzella retreated across the center line. That's gonna be an illegal reset. New World MLQ, you can't reset it all. So it's going to go back to Gwen. Gwen's got it, but now she's in the same boat. She gets tackled immediately by Ali and then beat. Kagan's around, but Kagan gets beat as well. And it looks like this is going to end up back in Ali's hand. She's going to pass it off to Nathan Digman. In the meantime, it looks like we're going to have another illegal beat call, this time on Lucas Marlin for swatting a ball after getting beat. Meanwhile, action's going to continue. And Liam with a shot. That was That shot was 4 yards from the center line, and they put it right through the center hoop. Honestly, I'd probably give you that shot more often, but maybe not against top tier shooting like Chicago Prowl has. So there's going to be a blue card for, illegal swat. The player got beat and then swatted it as a seeker, but the penalty time is going to be negated by the goal. Hey, penalty time negated by the goal. So Lucas is going to run, but come right back to their spot they had before. Some solid loops there. And it looks like Kagan is going to maintain quad ball when we restart play in their own keeper zone already. Dodgeballs, meanwhile, being held by Mike Morowick and Matt Brown around center hoop. So Noyes is going to get some look at Derek Parker right now. And Derek, as he's been doing all the time, throws Noyes down with no respect. Derek, top tier seeker. Oh, sorry, top tier flag runner, keeping away a top tier seeker in Noyes. Check the nope, not Rob Flay's got the ball. Looks like they got beat. There might be a beat before, or this could be stopped for injury. We'll find out in a second. But yeah, that was Brian Flahy with the beat. Yeah, it looks like it was just going to be a stoppage play for a quad ball turnover for throwing after beat. That's all right. Chicago's looking up, and it looks like Detroit managed to get dodgeball control back, or they're about to. And they do. That's the Michigan beater pair back at work. Matt Brown beats Lucas. So again, Noyes getting some looks at Derek. Derek having absolutely none of Noyes. You are not my friend. You must stay at least 3 feet away. Meanwhile, Diggy Bastards are behind the hoops. So wide open Peachy catches and shoots it through, and that knocks the score up to 180-90, which I believe is the set score. We will find out in a few seconds. While the refs check around, looks like our ref TCD, Tommy Davidson's going to go check to make sure set score has been reached and that there are no outstanding calls, and that is the game. Good game all around on that one. Detroit did a very good job, especially around the late teen minutes of really putting up a lot of points against the Chicago D. Chicago's D was sloppy, and Detroit took great advantage of it with basically a combination of some scrappy plays and also some really good passing and shooting, especially timing their shooting, and really the beater line of Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur really did some good work. But Chicago got their stuff together, really took advantage of the fast break and got a lot of points off that fast break. And then once they switched around their beater lines into for the 20-minute mark with flag runner in play, they got a lot of fast breaks and really turned up the heat and kind of showed where their chasers are like the really strong point of this. Well, I don't know if that's strong point of their team, but I think they had a better matchup with their chasers versus Detroit's chasers. Took advantage of the situation and scored a lot of points really quickly to win this game. Shout out, though, to Derek Parker, the true winner, because Derek did not get caught. We'll see if Derek can not get caught again next game. So well done. We're going to take a timeout now until the next game starts. Final score 180 Chicago, 90 Detroit, and we'll be back as soon as the next game starts in about 15-20 minutes. Welcome back to lovely the corner ballpark here for game number 2. So Chicago won game 1, 180 to 90, I believe, locking up this half of the North Division and guaranteeing that they will be in the first place game, in the battle for the first place game versus Toronto. So we have to see if Chicago's defense can improve what they did upon last game. So we got interception there by Nathan Digman. He got beat, but quick recovery there. Now we're fast breaking, and Nathan looks off Jack Levi and then shoots it past him for the quick goal. So Chicago up to a quick lead, 10-0. So Detroit's beater line of Ray Brodeur and Ryan Sue had a fair amount of success last game. We'll have to see what they can do this time around. Right now they've got Marissa Weir and Ryan Swanson in, and Jack Levi is bringing it down center. They're looking around. Meanwhile, got some beat behind the hoop, pass off to Kagan. Kagan pop shots behind the hoop to Ethan Monis, who gets beat. And Emma Vestas with the rebound, and it winds up in the hands of Nathan Digman. Nathan, looks like we're gonna have a stoppage of play, and looks like Indy's got a beater down right now. Up. Looks like they're right. Looks like number 5, Caleb Williams, I believe. Yep, that was Caleb Williams right there on that shot. Okay, yellow card is a reckless play. Putting 2 and 2 together, that's usually going to be a reckless head beat, basically. And it looks like they're going to be talking with the athletic trainer to see if they can come back in. Meanwhile, Nathan Digman bringing it up, passes it across the center to Emma Vasquez. Emma Vasquez drives forward. She's looking around. She's got Ali Marcus. Ali Manzella passes it off to her. Ali doesn't have much, retreats back. Passes it off to Nathan Digman. Nathan fakes out Gwen Pratt, drives forward, looks center, shoots center, and puts it in for the goal. He looked right and then shot it off the center hoop, top down, just barely, but beautiful. Hitting that top center hoop, really hard to stop that kind of shot. 20-0. Chicago's in the lead. We're about 2 minutes in. Kagan walking it down. That brings Ryan Swanson out of the penalty box for Detroit. And lo and behold, Detroit has dodgeball control right now. We'll see what they can do with it. Kagan's walking it down, passes it across to Jack Levi at the center. The beaters for Detroit looking around but haven't thrown much. Oh, Gwen Pratt goes for a pick for Jack to shoot, but he can't get the timing off. The pass over the hoops to Ethan Wanis is over his head and recovered by Byron Ing, who inbounds it and is bringing it down. It looks like Chicago's come down at a decent pace, but not a full fast break. So Byron passes half. Looks to the right, passes it off. Oh, there's a beat and no beat. Oh, some beater exchanges. Nathan's got the ball behind the hoops, does a swim move, passes it off to a wide open Emma Vasquez for an easy goal. That's more the action that we would expect from Chicago's offense. Beaters made some action at the top of the key, kept the beaters from Detroit out of the play, and then did some passing around the hoops for an easy goal. 30-0. Chicago's in the lead. Detroit's got the quad ball. Jack Levi up left center is walking around, crosses towards center. He's looking around. Chicago in what looks like a 2-2, changing it up after the hoop zone. Didn't do so hot last game. Passes behind the hoops to Gwen. They get beat, but they might have stepped out of bounds first. I think that's going to be the call. We're going to find out here. And yes, it is. It's going to be Gwen was stepped on the line before they passed the ball, so they turned it over. It's going to go to Nathan Digman, and Nathan's going to bring it in at the line where Gwen stepped out. So Ryan Swanson gets beat, and we are on a fast break for Chicago. Nathan's bringing it down. Kagan looking to stop him, but even before he gets anywhere near it, passes to wide open Emma Vasquez again for the goal. 40-0. Chicago's in the lead. And Nathan's looking for that assist double-double. Or hell, it might should go for the triple-double with some stops. Who knows? So, Detroit's got the ball. Marissa Weir's going to sub out. Ryan Sue already came in. And, yep, Ray Brodeur is coming in for Detroit. They're going for this Michigan line. And we're going to see if it fares as well as it did last game. The Michigan line might have played Chicago even up till flag runner on pitch. Kagan went for a shot at mid-hoop. He actually had it wide open. He's just a little off on the shot. We're going to have a stoppage of play to retrieve the quad ball. Good look by Kagan. It's just a difficult shot, and he couldn't put it through. So Liam is bringing it up across the center, gets met by Gwen Pratt. They get beat and retreat. Pass it around to Kaylee Fugate, then Cole Collins. Cole Collins shoots it and goes through. Is a good low percentage shot, but if you miss it, it's to go straight to Liam Zach's hands. But it doesn't matter because they made it anyways. 50-0. Chicago Prowl showing the last game was kind of a fluke. Love gets beat, but manages to pass it all the way down to Lucas, who saves it, gets it back in play, but it's rebounded by Nivash Javram, who's got a fast break. And Nivash in full speed mode runs down, shoots left hoop, puts it in for the goal. 60-0. Puts it through for a goal. Chicago doing everything right that they did not do right last game, up to a quick 60-0 lead only about 5 minutes in. Kagan bringing it down, crosses midline, looking around, dodgeball controls in the hands of Chicago, and they use it. Trade up front. Lucas behind the hoops got the ball. It looks like they were wrapped legally. Ball comes out and rides up in Liam's hands, and they're on the fast break. Detroit retreats, but Chicago's running it down. Shot by Liam is wide right, no good, and it's going to be recovered by Detroit. So Detroit's got it now. Number 3, Lindsey Smyers for Detroit, holding the quad ball while Ryan Sue's got the one dodgeball. Ray doesn't have one. Looks like Detroit's going to need to get dodgeball control back if they want to slow down this Chicago offense that is running them hard right now. Lindsay looks forward, looks around. She gets a beat, passes it off to Rob Butler. Rob gets it, passes it across the court to Nick Love. Nick Love passes it behind to Lucas, gets the ball. Oh, gets beat before they're able to recover it. And Liam Zach's got it, passes it off to Nivash. Nivash, easy catch, easy goal. 70-10, nothing. And it looks like Detroit is calling for a timeout. Chicago figured out everything they were doing wrong in that post-game break. I don't know if that dugout's magical, but man, it's a great place to talk apparently because they figured a lot out. Their fast break is on point, and they're maintaining dodgeball control the entire game, and with it, Detroit looks helpless on offense and on defense. So this is where we usually do start seeing the depth of Chicago come into play. They're fast breaking like mad, and Detroit with not used to this sort of pressure constantly coming at them, not able to stop it as much. Also, not having dodgeball control hurts as well, because if you have a dodgeball trade on the Chicago side while on offense, now you've got nothing back on defense to stop the Chicago rush, and they are taking advantage of that, and they are flying at every opportunity whenever there's a turnover. So, Chicago, 70-0. We're going to get game time here as soon as we can as well. Detroit hoping that this timeout they can cool Chicago's hot fast break and maybe figure out some strategy of their own. Seeing some new players in for Chicago on this game that did not play last game, including number, I believe, 30 over there. Yes, number 30, Scotty Rain. They're a play on Chicago United in the USQ season and have played for the past few years on Indy Intensity as well. Part of the over 30 club with this old man Gramps as well. Keeping the young kids in check, as always. So, Detroit's got the quad ball. Rob Butler bringing it up for them. Same beater pair as usual. Ryan Sue's holding the one dodgeball in Detroit's command right now. Meanwhile, Noyes and Matt Brown in Chicago's keeper zone, maintaining control of theirs. And number 3, Lindsay Smyers has it. She's looking around, gets a beat on to help. Passes it to Rob Butler behind the hoops on the left side. Rob Butler passes back up, intercepted by Nathan Digman, but Nathan gets instantly beat. Nathan read the pass, but Ryan read it as well. Good play by Ryan Sue. It looks like we're gonna have a stoppage of play while the rest figure out what's going on here. We didn't see anything, so we're not gonna speculate. We're just gonna get the answer in a few. So if Detroit does end up with the ball right now, they have an interesting setup because Lucas Marklin is all alone by himself next to the medium-sized hoop. He has enough time if if Detroit does have the ball right now, he has enough time to pitch a tent, light a campfire, catch the ball, dunk, and then head back on D because there's nobody within 20 yards of them. So we'll have to see what happens. It looks like we're still discussing what happened on that play. Right now, no one's holding the quad ball. It's in the ref's hands. There's a dodgeball at the feet of Matt Brown, and can't find any of the other dodgeballs right now. So hard to speculate what's going to happen here. Looks like Ryan Sue just raised up his broom to show he is off broom. And looks like a ref crew is going to need a few more minutes here. Got an experienced ref crew out today. And there's 2 separate cards on the play. We got a yellow card on Liam Zach, likely for some sort of illegal contact. Oh, and another blue card on Chicago. Didn't hear what that one was for. But it's going to be on Nathan Digman. Rough spot for Chicago now. So the yellow card is going to put the quad ball back into Detroit's hands. Scotty Rain is going to take the headgear, the keeper headband from Nathan Digman, and we're going to see if we can get time in it, what those penalties were right now. Jay, what were the penalties?
All right, so we had a blue card, Chicago keeper, affecting play while beat. A yellow card, Detroit 69, dangerous kick.
Thank you. So the yellow card was on Detroit 69 for a dangerous kick. So, and then, Indy's got, wow, quick run by Byron, pass off to Scott. Scott puts it in for the easy goal, and Ray Brodeur comes back into play. She just got the yellow card for the illegal kick. The blue card was on Nathan Digman for playing through a beat. They affected play while being beat. So, back on, Nathan is still in the penalty box, and Detroit needs to take advantage of that and see if they can put him a goal right here. Rob Butler bringing it down. They've got the one chaser advantage, looking to take advantage of it, but Nathan Digman comes out of the box. Forgot that blue card's a quick 30 seconds. Detroit did not hurry, did not take advantage of it like they could have. So, Detroit's passing it around. Rob Butler's got it across the top. He's driving center. Runs. Pass off to Lucas Marlin. Oh, he had Lucas. So Lucas caught it with more than enough time to get a pass off. It looks like Lucas tried a backhand shot. They might have gone for center hoop. I think they had that middle shot, though, at the middle hoop. Excuse me. But they just put it too high and missed it. Yeah, no good. They missed the center hoop. I think they definitely had the close hoop on the right. Great pass by Detroit, though. If they're able to get those passes and those shots off that quickly, they're definitely going to score some points off that move. It looks great. Chicago bringing it down. Nathan passes it off to Emma Vasquez. Emma Vasquez got it at the top of the key. She's looking around. Gets a beat. Passes it off to Nathan. Nathan's on the right wing. Passes it back to Emma. Emma whips it around to Byron. Byron looking around on the left side. Jogs toward center. Passes it back to Emma. Emma drives in. Looks around. She passes it behind the hoops for Scott. Oh! No good. Rebound by Byron Ing, though. Byron's looking around. It looks like... Oh, misbeat from Brown, but Chicago's got it. Pass it off to Scott. Scott's looking around. Looks like we have a delayed penalty against Indy right now. I'm curious if they're going to call Matt Brown for a poor beat attempt. We'll find out.
How you about people keep calling Chicago Indy?
Oh, I played on them for like 5 years. It's killing me. So we're going to discuss what the penalty could be on this play. Chicago had a window there with no beaters around, but could not take advantage of it. Current score, though. Oh, no penalty on the play. They're going to say Matt Brown had a valid target when he threw his dodgeball. Current score 80-0. Chicago's in the lead. Nathan Digman now with the quad ball at the top of above the hoop zone. Pass off to Emma Vest was cutting. Oh, she lost her broom though and missed the pass. And there's another stoppage of play. I don't know what for. I think it might be a legal swat, betting on the hand motions here, and that's what we're going to go for. And that's what it is. Byron knew it, and Byron is headed to the sin bin. 30 seconds in the sin bin. Blue card for a legal swat. We'll have to see if Detroit can take advantage of it this time and actually make a run for it and try and score. Game time, we're sitting here around 7-8 minutes. Try and go to actual time if we can. Line change for Detroit. New player in the game, number 42, Andrew Miller. Miller passes it off to another new player, George Daring, keeper. And also number 14, Sarah Maxey. So Detroit passes it around. Oh, one more new player, Nathan Feidner. George Daring with a shot. That was a shot from halfway between the midline and the keeper zone line, but it was wide open, and it looked to me like he top-downed it in. The goal ref had it good.
I think it was good.
Yeah, the goal ref was very confident that was good. I think they're going to get this goal. What a shot there by George Daring. Jay, game time? And yeah, upon further review, they're calling that good. What a shot by George. That's the downfall of the 2-2, though. You get 5 minutes? 9. Thank you. 9 minutes in, and Detroit puts up their first goal, so it's now 80-10. But Diggy wants to add one more to that, and he does. Fakes left, right, shoots left hoop for the easy goal. And it's 90-10. And Nathan heads off to the sideline. Subs in Alyssa Marasa. Also, Liam Zott comes in. Looks like full line change there for Chicago. Colin Gaines and Mike Morowick now in at beater. Meanwhile, beater core of Ray Brodeur and Ryan Sue is in, along with this new chaser line for Detroit. They're going to pass around to Nathan. Nathan passes back to George. Cole Collins playing much closer to the center hoop now after the last time. Oh, what a drive by George. He fakes the shot, passes it behind the hoops to a wide open Andrew Miller, who catches it and shoots it at center hoop for the easy goal. Detroit looking good on offense now. Divash, though, bringing it down, passes out to Liam Zach. Liam goes center, passes it. Oh, they had Alyssa Marasa, but overshot her. Divash, meanwhile, gets the rebound, and we're going to have a call. I don't know if they're going to call contact from behind or if Nivash stepped out of bounds. We'll have a discussion. We're going to find out. Alyssa Marasa, though, wide open next to the hoop on that one. Good look by Liam. They just passed it a little too high. If Alyssa was like 6'9", I think she had that easy, but unfortunately she's not. So, we're going to have to discuss this. I think there might have been a stoppage for play just to get the quad ball out that I believe was stuck at Borders because it made it all the way to Canada. Nivash passes it across the center to Liam, who drops it, but recovers it and puts it through on the right hoop. Goal is good. And Indy into the double digits now, 100-20. Meanwhile, Detroit is subbing out the Michigan core, bringing in Dustin Minnick, who looks fresh off that ankle lane. And Minnick is in, and so is number 51. Brooke Smiley, Detroit, and she immediately gets beat by Baroic. Daring fakes out Liam Zach, runs around the outside, passes behind, but overshoots Miller. And that quad ball's going to roll out of bounds. It's going to get brought in by Marasa. Marasa running down the pitch. And it looks like she's trying to fast break. Oh, it ends up to Cole. Cole passes it to J-Rum. J-Rum misses the shot thanks to number 42. Covers the rebound and dunks on center hoop, puts it in for the goal. So 110-20. Chicago's in the lead. Game time, we're sitting around 10:30. Daring's bringing it up. Oh, but the press is on. Passes it across the center to Miller. Miller runs through a Marassa tackle. Tries a shot. It's deflected. Cole Collins is going to rebound it. Minute gets beat, and it looks like Gaines and Maroke are going to have dodgeball control. Collins is running it down the center pitch. They're looking for a fast break. Gets a beat. Passes behind the hoops to Nivash. And J-Rum shoots it through the small hoop for a goal. Daring was there for the block, but he didn't get his hand on it. And the quad ball hits center line, and it's going to go back to Daring in the keeper zone. 120-20. Chicago's in the lead. Daring passes it off to Miller. It seems to be a 1-2 combo there. Meanwhile, Ryan Swanson is in for Minnick at keeper. Detroit does not have bludger control. Marowick and Colin Gaines have made sure to keep it on their side. Oh, looks like we got some beater action up around the keeper's line. Daring fires a shot over the top, and that ball is going forward. And that ball is going for some sunflower seeds in the dugout. We'll be stopping play while they retrieve that quad ball. Detroit is liking to shoot from far on that center hoop. Worked out at the start, but now they're really overshooting it. I don't know if it's the wind at their backs, but they got to bring those shots down a little bit if they want to have some better shots. Meanwhile, Peachy and Rain having keep away at the top from Feidner. Peachy gets tackled. Scotty passes it down to Zach. Zach dodges a beat, fakes out a defender, and puts it through the hoop for a goal. 130-20. Chicago extends their lead. Meanwhile, dodgeball rolls halfway to the left field wall. Swanson getting his conditioning in right now. Detroit walking it down. Maxi's on the right wing. Chicago's playing a tight defense, letting him get away with it. Passes back up to Daring. Daring's looking at that center hoop, but Himmelman is not letting him have a shot on this one. Himmelman wide, ready to block that shot. Daring drives, I don't know if that was a pass or gets popped out, but it flies right into the hands of Himmelman, and Himmelman's on the fast break. Himmelman's got Peachy on his right and dodges the beat. It looks like he's got a one-on-one, and he beats the chaser, Feidner to the hoop, and dunks it in for the goal. 140-20. Chicago has really figured it out this game. They played Minneapolis closer the first game, but they played Detroit closer today than they played Minneapolis that first game. But this second game, just like when they ran away with it from Minneapolis, they're doing that again today as well. And they are just running up the score here, 140-20. At this point, they scored 12 before flag runner on pitch. Last game, they've already got 14, and we're sitting around 15 minutes. Levi passes it around to Pratt. Pratt's got it. Gets beat, but gets the ball off Madline behind the hoops. Passes it forward. Gets deflected by Peachy, but makes its way to Jack Levi. Levi gets beat. And we're going to have a stoppage of play. Yep. There would have been a illegal turnover for Detroit because the ball crossed mid-pitch. Peachy running forward, straight ahead on the fast break. Runs past Pratt. Backhands it into the lower left hoop, and it's a goal. 150-20. Detroit wondering what happened to their close offense, the offense that played them so closely the last game. Chicago is fast breaking, and they are not letting off the hook. They are now pressing hard. So we got two beats and a tackle now. Oh, Scott! Oh! I'm so sad that was no good because it was such a gorgeous left-handed shot from Rain, but they were beat before and they dove on the dive. What a great looking play. If we don't tell them they were beat before, it's a great highlight reel play. Don't tell anybody. All right, so it's going to be a quad ball turnover to Caglin, Madlin, and Levi for Detroit. Meanwhile, they're subbed in. Marissa Weir is in, working with Swanson at the beaters for Detroit. Caleb Williams and a new beater for Chicago, number 99, Veronica Hoffman, new to the team this year. So, Levi's walking it down, pressure by Peachy, passes it off to Pratt. Pratt goes behind the hoops to Juanis. Juanis got Himmelman immediately, passes it out. Oh, to a wide open Kagan Madline, who dunked it in for the easy goal, but it looks like Jay's calling this off for some reason. Looks like Melanie Roth couldn't stop that pass, and Madeleine caught it for an easy dunk. Don't know where it happened on that one, what his penalties for, though, but Jay was immediately calling it off, so we're going to find out. So it looks like when we resume play, if there's no penalty on the beaters, Detroit beaters might manage to get dodgeball control back, which could have likely contributed to why that goal was so easily scored for Detroit with the whip around passing. And here's the call. Oh! Marissa Weir is called for a yellow card for initiating new contact while beat. Hard. Ooh, rough play for them. That's going to give both a dodgeball and a quad ball turnover for Detroit. So the goal is negated. The quad ball goes to Indy. The dodgeball control they had also goes to Chicago. And Marissa has to spend a minute in the sin bin. Rough turn of events for Detroit. Caleb Williams runs, recovers dodgeball control as Rain slowly walks down the center lane. Oh, yep, and they're subbing out. And in for the Chicago Prowl for the first time this game, Jameel Hunter, also known as Millie. Very new player to the quad ball scene in general. Looking forward to seeing them. They are very slick on offense. Excited for that. Also coming in, Kaylee Fugates and Byron Ng returning to the pitch. Meanwhile, illegal SWAT call on Detroit, and Glenn Pratt will be joining Weir in the penalty box for 30 seconds. Chicago resumes play. Millie's behind the hoops. Oh, pass off the... Oh, wow. So we had a pass off. Shot was no good. Beat before, but the ball went through. It was picked up by Hunter behind the hoops, and I believe Hunter shot it through. So, the pass from Emma to Byron, I believe Byron's shot was definitely beat before, but they have to discuss if it was beat before unscorable quaffle or just beat before the throw, everything gets stopped. If not, that's going to be Hunter's first goal, and I'm going to be excited for him. It would be awesome if... Oh, they're calling no good. That's going to be a quad ball turnover. Then what they're saying is Byron was beat before the pass was made, and so play stopped from there, and it's a quad ball turnover at that point to Levi, and that's what they called. So Levi's going to get the ball, and it looks like looks like Chicago's going to retreat. They're going to have, they do have dodge. Oh, yep, they do have the dodgeball control. Swanson, though, just stole one, but they're starting to have control. Oh, no, they got beat, and somehow managed, oh, that's right. They're down a beater. All right, so pass to Ethan Wanis. He's fumbled, recovered by Millie. Millie read that play like it was a book, and now he's on the fast break. Passes it down to Emma, a little high for her. She saw, but she ain't that tall. So recovery goes to Madeline on Detroit, and Detroit's walking it up. Meanwhile, we're out of the sin bin, back on the pitch, looking to get some quad ball control, some dodgeball control back with Swanson. Quick beat by Quan. Wanis was going to retreat. Quan runs back to the hoops, no problem. Madeline still bringing it down, just crosses center line near the left side, looking towards Levi at the center. They look like they're trying to set something up. They've got Pratt on the far right, and passes it off to Levi. Levi's looking center. Both beaters just got beat, and a long shot from Levi goes in center hoop. Detroit picking Indy apart with those shooting game. So Chicago sleeping on center hoop. I don't know if it's comfy in that area, or if somebody left a pillow there, but Chicago is just sleeping constantly on the center hoop, and Daring and Levi are taking advantage of it at every turn. Byron Ng got the ball, running down center lane, looking left, looking right, running center, passes it to Emma Vasquez on the right. She dunks it in for the easy goal. And Detroit back to full strength finally. Hoffman with a sneaky play manages to get dodgeball control. All three dodgeballs are on the ground. One of them is kindly rolling to me, which is nice after getting hit twice last game. And Detroit has control. Quan running it back with Hoffman, recovering the third one. And it looks like Detroit is going to be having some issues now because there's two bludgers on the ground, and Tim Quan is cleaning house with the third. Madeline passes it off to Pratt, who's going to get beat, and they swat it forward, recovered by Digman. Digman jogging down the center. Meanwhile, Quan knocks a broom out of Wanis' hand. He threw so fast. Meanwhile, Digman passed to Kaylee Fugate for an easy dunk. She was wide open on the hoops. Tim Kwan throwing that ball on turbo mode, literally knocked the broom out of Juanes' hand. They threw so hard. Meanwhile, Nathan Digman approaching the double-double, I would only assume, with how many beats, with how many passes and or assists and goals he's got through for a game and a half right now. Chicago up 17 to 30. Game time is 17:37, and all the hope Detroit had after playing so closely in game one gone after Chicago just stepped on the gas this game. So Madeline crosses center line, got Ray Brodeur next to him. Brodeur and Quan trade. Meanwhile, Madeline drives ollie hoops and over the hoop to absolutely no one, and it's going to be a turnover. Vasquez inbounds. She's got Digman down. She fakes out Markland. And she passes it off to Hunter down into her left. Millie's got it. Millie crosses center line with the quad ball, and Detroit has dodgeball control. This will slow down Chicago's offense for sure. Digman looking around. He's got to chase around, and then fakes going down, comes back up the top, runs across the center, pops it over the head to a cutting Vasquez, but she can't hold on to it. She's beat behind the hoops, and it's turned over to Love on Detroit, who hands it off to Butler. And keep her in the zone. In the meantime, Detroit still has her dodgeball control with the beater pair of Brodeur and number 51, Smiley. Looking good for Detroit. Detroit walking it down slowly. Butler approaching the keeper line. He's looking right, decides to go left. Chaser drives down, passes behind the hoops to Markland. Markland resets it back to Butler. Oh, Butler has to save it, but in an awkward way. And it looks like they're going to get away with it, though. Butler's got it. Oh, he gets double tackled, passes it back. Oh, a beat miss from Colin Gaines. Drive to Nicholas Love. Shoots and he scores. Oh, that's going to be discussed. I hope they're going to call a good goal, though. The shot deflected or popped the hoop up. Yeah, I think they're going to discuss if it was popped out before the ball went through, which, oh, it's rough because that was a great pass, great shot. Number 3, Smyers, Lindsay Smyers on that pass was wonderful. And then the cut and the backhanded shot there by Love for the finish. What a great play by Detroit. That's the kind of offense they've shown some really great flashes of. And it'd be a shame if this was called off by the hoop popping out. Yes, and to the joy of all of Detroit, that goal is called good. They're saying it went through before it was completely dislodged. So, line change on Chicago's Chasers and Gaines. Meanwhile, Digman slowly walking it up, passes it off to Manzella. Manzella pass is blocked by Love. Love recovers it with one hand, spin moves, fakes a pass. Oh, Love! Back-to-back goals by Detroit, and Nick Love just adding to his highlight reel. Get this man a contract. That was gorgeous. Zach apparently not liking it. They're giving some forearm stiffs to Love to bounce him, to keep him away from Manzella. Manzella passes it to Zach, who bounces it off to Jerem. Jerem's looking around the right side, driving down. Oh, doesn't see Ryan Sue and gets beat for an easy turnover. Meanwhile, stoppage of play was for the 20-minute mark. Detroit finding some really good action in the last couple of minutes here. Unfortunately, they're still down 12. But they've scored 2 in a row unanswered. But they also gave up 17 before that. So current score is 170 Chicago, 50 Detroit at the 20-minute mark. So Detroit, good scrappy goals there. Nick Love out of nowhere, just some wonderful fakes on offense. I'm pretty sure he just faked out 3 separate chasers on Indy on that last goal. Beautiful goal. Bludger control as of late been in Detroit's hands, and that's really played well for them. Meanwhile, the flag runner Derek Parker back out here trying to go perfect again. Hasn't been caught since the 1960s. Okay, he's been caught sooner than that, but trying to go for the perfect game as a flag runner. So Noyes and Melanie Roth for Chicago wearing the yellow again. Thomas Weir. And it looks like Thomas right now is the only player in Detroit in a yellow right now. Chicago Detroit missing David Bannis, one of their top tier seekers. They're out today. On Chicago's side, their one catch from Minneapolis last week was me. I'm out today as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Derek Parker can maintain his long streak against not the usual seekers for both teams. Although Noyes is a standard seeker for Chicago. So Weir and Noyes lining up for the seeker game, and they're on the pitch. Noyes, Oshra. So quick beat on Weir, and Oshra is off on Parker. Meanwhile, we got some Brown beats Ryan Sue, who manages to maintain control. Oh, he had a knockout, almost catch by Noyes. It's no good though. He failed to maintain control. Meanwhile, Detroit on offense misses a shot, and it's recovered by Himmelman. Himmelman's got the ball. Walking slowly, crosses the center line with Brown flanking him on his left, and passes it off to Zach on his right. Zach passes it behind the hoop to a wide open J-Rum, but he's far from the line. He passes it back to Zach. Zach off to Himmelman at the center line. And Himmelman's walking forward. He fakes out a defender. Nope, gets tackled by them, but gets it right back up, but it gets right back down. Passes it back, but it's intercepted by number 3, and that's a hard shoulder charge. And they're not calling it an illegal reset on the grounds that it was deflected by a Detroit player, I would assume. Meanwhile, there's some action behind the hoops, and a good tackle by Lucas Marklin results in a quad ball result going to Detroit. Finder passes it back to Marklin, and Marklin gets beat, not knowing there's a beater behind him, and it's recovered by J-Rum. J-Rum runs, fakes, passes nope, doesn't pass at all. He shoots it in the goal. And Indy extends their lead 180 to 50. Meanwhile, Oshra getting some good action with Derek Parker, but again, Parker having absolutely none of it. Oshra coming back for more, but just like Oliver Twist. Please, sir, might have another. Parker says absolutely not. Detroit on offense. Daring on the far left, looking around. He's got Ryan Sue beaten, clearing the path, and Sue's going to get control. Throwing beaters like they're going out of style. Pass to 42 is fumbled, recovered by Himmelman. Meanwhile, all the bludgers are around the flag runner. Great tackle by Feidner, and the ball comes out. We got a penalty on this play, though. Curious what it's going to be. Meanwhile, flag runner substitute. Melanie Roth is going to come in for Noyes Oshra after this play. Don't know what the card's going to be. Ellie Menace looks like was the AR with the call, discussing it with HR Tommy Davidson. Meanwhile, on the right here, I've got Caleb Williams, Matt Brown hanging out with Ryan Sue on Detroit.
Want to talk about us.
What'd you say?
You turn the camera on us if you want to talk about us.
Some lovely potential beater action when we resume play. Detroit's clapping, so it looks like there is no penalty on the play, so we're going to go back to this fast break over here. We're see what happens. Ryan Sue just punts, and they're going to maintain bludger control. Meanwhile, fast break for Detroit. Number 42, Miller for the easy goal. Detroit having much more success on offense as of late. 180 to 60. Derek Parker again denying every seeker. Okay, Zach passes it off to Nathan Digman. Digman passes it back to Zach. Zach's at the center line, halfway between the center and the keeper, in the center of the pitch. He's looking around, looks left, passes it to Manzella. Manzella's looking around, looks at Himmelman, decides against it, cross pass to Digman. Digman, it was like tips, just like in schoolyard basketball. Passes it back. Zach's got it to a cutting Himmelman. No good. Stoppage of play.
Seeker. There you go, right there.
So, no good on the goal. Coach Kennedy Murphy on Chicago talking about the alley-oops, saying she loves them, but maybe a little too much. The team is, excuse me. Yeah, that was not a high percentage one on that one. If Detroit's got bludger control, or dodgeball control, excuse me, and they've got the beater back there, not much room for air, and it's hurting them. Meanwhile, Ruff throwing her best at Derek Partner, and he is politely denying it all. Daring on the left, crossing the keeper zone line, looking around. He's got Brodeur in front of him, passes behind the hoops to Feidner. Feidner passes it back. He's looking around, passes it back to Feidner. Feidner passes it back up to Daring. Daring, he's got running around. He's got shot. This time, Indy's on the center hoop. Ends up in Hillman's hand. And we got Markin back to hoops. Don't know why, but Chaser game is returning. Oh, Matt Brown with a deflection on Brodeur. Brodeur thinks she beat him. Matt Brown disagrees. Hillman driving down the front line, passes behind the hoops. Oh, she passes around. Oh, but it just doesn't get it to Nathan Digman, who was cutting. It looks like it was a little in front of the hoops, and Digman was too far to the side to reach through the hoop to grab it. Goes no good, and it looks like Brown and Hoffman on Detroit are both holding quad balls. Excuse me, dodgeballs for Chicago. And quick beat on the Seeker, and Brown's got the ball back while Sue's calling immunity and going back for it as well. Oh, Sue went for a sneaky kick beat but missed it. Got to work on those soccer skills. Meanwhile, Oshra, good action again on Parker, but Parker again denying him. Meanwhile, pass to 42, passes it over to Maxie. Maxie, though, but she's recovering it, has people on her and gets beat. No, looks like she was, nope, not beat. But Liam, Zach, and Digman are not letting her get anywhere, and now she's beat, and it's going to be a quad ball turnover in Digman's hands in his own keeper zone. Meanwhile, beater play, chaser play, Seeker play, Oshra. Oh! So, Oshra was about to go back here. Meanwhile, behind the hoops action, we had a pass from Digman to Cole Collins. Collins caught it on the way down, was contacted. We might have a defenseless receiver play here now. Rules on defenseless receiver. A charge or a tackle is a straight red, and it looks like that's what's being called. So, Cole had jumped up, straight up to catch the ball, and on the way down was hit. And it looks like they're going to define the form of contact as a charge, and that would be charging a defenseless receiver. That is, unfortunately for Detroit and Ethan Wanis, a straight red card. Ethan Wanis will be headed to the bench. Now, this is not what you would consider a malicious red card. It's more of a technical red card. So because of that, Ethan Wanis more than likely will be playing in the next game. They won't have to review it for suspension or anything like that. Cole looks like he's all right, so Collins is going to stand back up. He's going to be wide open next to the hoops and have an easy goal opportunity right here. It's curious to see if Detroit's going to try and discuss this or otherwise appeal it, but it seems like they're not. But yeah, Collins going to have an easy goal right here. It's sad because it was almost a great play by Wanis, just got way too much of Collins while Collins was still in midair in that one. So, resume of the play. Collins gets the easy goal, and we're back on offense. All three dodgeballs are behind the hoops of Chicago. Meanwhile, Markland gets sent back to hoops, giving Oshra some alone time with Maxie, with Parker. Parker does not care about this alone time. He just wants Noyes anywhere away from that tail. Meanwhile, we got a delayed penalty. Delayed penalty. Nathan passes it off to Emma Vasquez for an easy goal. She might have been beat before, so we have to review that as well. Lots to discuss, lots to talk about. Lots of Parker redirecting everybody like he's very picky about his prom date. I don't know. But nobody has gotten anywhere near that tail except probably the flag runner ref at this point. Parker just absolutely dominating the flag runner game right now. Loving every minute of it. Spider-Man at work right now. So, looks like there's a lot to discuss. Yeah, show him that Spider-Man. Parker going for the second game in a row without giving up a catch. Not even like one we have to call off later for like a cheat or anything like that. Nothing. And that's not because he's not getting looks. That's because he's throwing people around and keeping them off. So it looks like we are going to have a keeper penalty on Sir Nathan Digman. And Digman will spend some time in the sin bin. Hands off the green headband to Scotty Rain, and it's going to be quad ball in the hands of Deering when we resume play. 3-second countdown on the flag runner, and then Markland and Oshra are going to be back on the action. Well, not Markland. Markland just got beat. Oshra back for some quality time again with Parker, and Parker just absolute denial. So Levi bringing it up across the center pitch, looking around. Madeline behind the hoops, and he passes it to him. Oh, he doesn't. He shoots center hoop again. Chicago caught sleeping at the hoops, and Levi is having all of that. Puts it in, 190-70. Detroit's trying to close that gap. Meanwhile, Rain runs it down. Emma Vasquez fakes the shot, fakes out Levi, jumps to her right and shoots it around Levi. Way to fake Levi out and put it through. 200-70 by Oshra would end the game for Chicago, but Parker not having any of that. Levi walking it up for Detroit, crosses center pitch, looking around. Nathan Digman is giving him all the left hoop and none of the center. He is tired of all of the goals from Detroit being on that center hoop, which at this point I would estimate 5 out of 7 have been shots on that center hoop. Meanwhile, Oshra's out, allowing Ralph to be the player that gets kindly denied by Parker. So, beat on Weir. Meanwhile, offense, tackle by Rain, gets beat, dropped, caught by Detroit, and now it's another tackle by, we don't know what's going on here. We're going to discuss it. It looks like the refs are going to come and talk about this one. If that's a yellow card on Nathan Digman, it would be his, I believe, second of the game. Meanwhile, Melanie Rolfe in for Chicago at the seeker position, trying to get closer to Parker. Looks like, oh, it's going to be just a dodgeball turnover to Digman, and Digman is fast breaking. He wants that double-double, and he puts it in.
67, blue.
Chicago cements the football score here. They're up 2 touchdowns, 21-7 on Detroit. Detroit, unfortunately, can't score touchdowns. They're going to need 14 goals to tie it back up, and they're going to need them soon because Chicago only needs a safety to put this into the set score and end the game. Weir, again, beat. Chicago doing a great job of maintaining dodgeball control. Oh, Brown goes and beats his old teammate Weir, and then goes after Levi. Levi blocks it twice. One more time. Oh, passes it off to, oh, it looks like that was Kaylee Fugate. Not a good time for a shot. Recovered by Hunter. Hunter passes it up to J-Rum. Gets it back. Fakes out some defenders from Detroit, and he's looking around. He's at center. He goes for center line, passes it off to J-Rum. J-Rum with the dog. Hunter adding to his stat line. He had the goal. Now he's got the assist. J-Rum adding another goal to his stat line. He's looking great today too. 220-70. Chicago's up 15. Only needs one more to end the game. Rolfe though trying to get that catch beforehand. Derek Parker still having none of it. Madeline crosses center pitch, jogging to the keeper line, gets beat out of nowhere and has to turn it over. And it looks like they're going to stop play. Yep, for a bit of a toss after beat by Madeline, and so it's going to be a quad ball turnover and no penalty on the play. They're just going to quad ball turnover to Marasa on Chicago. Meanwhile, looks like Chicago's in a good position right now to fast break this and end the game, and we're going to find out if that's what they do. And it is. They're off. Hunter's deep right. Oh, but great play by Marissa, where Jacob's got the ball, jumps over with a jump over Madeline on Detroit for the shot, and it looks like they're going to discuss a beat before among some other things. That could be the end of the game. Oh, sit down at any time for a water break yet. We're going to play for a little while longer. Goal is no good on J-Rum. So Detroit is going to get the quad ball behind their hoops. Pratt's going to bring it up. Meanwhile, Weir beat again. At this point, poor guy's just doing wind sprints. Meanwhile, Rolfe trying to get some quality time with the flag runner. Parker blocking her at every turn. Detroit bringing it up. We go dodgeball trade. Shot by Jack a little high. There's actually a pass that found there behind the hoops. Pass it off to Madeline. It's blocked a little bit. And Hunter with the rebound, pass it off to J-Rum behind the hoops, and he's a immune keeper, and he's going, and they're on the fast break, but we got to stop. That would likely have been the end of the game, but we've got what looks like an injury behind the hoops. Player down for Detroit. So it looks right now like the Chicago's in a very advantageous position. They've got Marasa behind or on Detroit's keeper line, all alone. I'm closer to her. Well, though the nearest chaser, Jack Levi, is about 9 yards from her, But there is a beater about 10 yards away that might be able to make a beat if they loft it to her, so we're going to have to see what Chicago does on this. It's a very interesting position, not extremely advantageous for Chicago. So I don't think they're going to be able to, they could instantly score off this, but it's not a for sure play. Meanwhile, the Detroit,
18.
yep, the Detroit player down behind the hoops, number 18, Gwen Pratt. Looks like she's getting up though, so she should be okay. They are, my apologies, they are getting up right now, so they should be all right. Looks like they're a little shaken up. The crowd's giving the applause. It looks like they're walking off under their own power, which is always a good sign. Hopefully they're just a little shaken up and they'll be good to go for next game. Meanwhile, manager of the year, at least in my house, Christina Melton, getting some water for the teammates. Me scoring some brownie points with her for that line. So the refs are discussing. I don't know what they're going to discuss. It could be that the injury that we just saw, and if there was a penalty on that play. Meanwhile, Jerem's got the ball. They were moved back during the stoppage to behind the center line, and then Gaines to their left is immediately across it. But that puts a beater, Swanson, between Jerem and the hoops. But a wide open Marassa also still on the left side. So Swanson, in all reality, Jerem can run straight ahead with this, and as long as he stays free, would have Marassa as an easy dump option if Swanson elects to throw at him. So it kind of puts Swanson in a real bad catch-22. Does he beat Jerem to try and end the fast break and give up the potential goal in the process? So it'll be very interesting to see what happens, because with Levi on Swanson's right, Levi can go forward and stop Jerem's run, or go back and try and stop the pass. Or all that could have been negated by a yellow card penalty on Indy, or I'm sorry, on Chicago. One day I'll stop calling them Indy. It looks like they tried to call a penalty on Kaylee, but it was changed to the actual offender, number 28, Jamil Hunter, who's adding to his first day, unfortunately, with a yellow card. Gotta collect them all, though. Meanwhile, we're also joining Millie in the sin bin.
2 fouls on the play. First, illegal contact, illegal slide, Chicago. Then, disrespecting an official on the bench, Detroit.
Oh. So, Kagan instead fast breaks and gets the easy goal for Detroit. There's a disrespecting an official call on Detroit. Oh, quick drive down by Jerem past Marissa is too hot to handle. Turnover ends up in the hands of Madeline from Detroit. Detroit, again, 2 touchdowns behind, 220 to 80, and they're walking it down slowly. Meanwhile, Rolf getting some good looks at the flag runner, and the flag runner denying them all. And she's off broom and will retreat to her own hoops to tag back in. Madeline crosses center line with the quad ball. Looking, no one's on center hoop. Oh, it looks like he went for the shot, or perhaps it was the alley-oop, but the alley-oop was a great alley-oop, but they missed the shot on the other side. Chicago gets control. Weir gets beat. A pass to Millie. Millie catches it passes it off to Marassa. Marassa dips, ducks, dives. Dips, ducks, dodges, dives, but did she put it through the hoop? We don't know. That's what they're going to discuss right now. It looks like the answer is maybe? Yeah, we don't know yet. They're going to discuss it. Yellow card on Levi, though, for playing off broom. Interesting call, because Levi was, if that's the call, Levi was on yellow broom and he affected Marassa's scoring, in which case Marassa's going to have the ball right next to that hoop, wide open, and able to easily put that through the hoop for the easy goal, which hopefully gets our friend Millie here his first assist as a new player to this league. And here he goes, and Marassa with the easy underhand toss in for the game, and that's it. Chicago wins it 230 to 80. So Chicago figuring it out on offense again, really running the fast break, really stepping on the gas, and just playing the we're going to run your team into the ground because we've got more depth to play. It's not bold strategy, Cotton. It's a great strategy by Chicago because they nailed it. They were fast breaking and they had Detroit on their heels the entire game. And really, Detroit didn't have much until probably the last 5 minutes, or probably after 15 minutes before Detroit even got settled at all. Had some bludger control, had some dodgeball control, got some shots off, and really, really took advantage of Chicago's 2-2 and got a lot of points on that center hoop. So, looks like Chicago wins this series for sure, but definitely needs to shore up that offense because that center hoop was left wide open, and Detroit put a lot of shots in there. And if they play some teams with some really top-tier shooting, they're going to be hurting if they keep leaving that shot open. Meanwhile, on Detroit's side, they got to play like they did the last 5 minutes, not the first 15. First 15, they had deer in the headlights. But that last 5 going into the flag runner, and then even when the flag runner was on the field, is a much better-looking Detroit team, the sort of team that I would expect to do well in the championships next week and maybe knock off all the other teams and end up in third place in the North Division. We'll find out. So for now, we're going to take another timeout. We're going to put you guys on mute, and I'm going to go drink some water, and we'll see you again in about 15 minutes for Game 3. Take care.
I was back here. It's unmuted. Weird.
We are back just in time for Game 3 here at the lovely Corner Ballpark between Detroit and Chicago. The Chicago Prowl in their inaugural season, well, at least in Chicago, and Detroit Innovators. So, Detroit looking to get some, try and see if they can steal Game 3 away here from Chicago. Meanwhile, Digman passes behind the hoops to open Byron Ing. Ing gets beat, throws it away, and it looks like it's going to cross center line, and that's going to be a quad ball turnover. So Detroit looking to find something in this Game 3 to take into the next their next series in 3 weeks at North Championships. Chicago looking to just finish with an undefeated season. So Kagan runs it down, fakes out a defender, and then dunks it at center hoop. Detroit, for the first time today, takes the lead 10-0 over Chicago. Looking good on that. All right, looks like dodgeball control is in the hands of Detroit and that Michigan beater squad of Ryan Sue and Ray Brodeur. So bringing it down. Digman's got it. Passes it off to Fugate. Fugate's looking around. Oh, and they just go straight to Digman and beat him. This might be a new play if they've got bludger control, just beat Digman and keep him out of the play. Meanwhile, Emma passes across to Byron. Byron jumps up and loses their broom.
I think they're calling off broom. If I were to guess.
I would agree. I think as soon as Ing jumped, they lost their broom. So it's going to be a quad ball turnover. So Detroit taking advantage of dodgeball control here, but maybe a little too much advantage because they just lost it. So now dodgeball control is in the hands of Oshra and Brown from Chicago. So Detroit's got it, passes it around. Oh, Digman with a rough tackle on Levi at the top of the hoop, and then Levi gets beat. I'm curious if they're going to be discussing, honestly, a defenseless receiver here. Oh, thank you. Nathan hit Levi right as they caught it, but I think Levi might have been in midair. We're going to see what they're going to discuss. Okay, so luckily for Digman, much softer yellow card for just playing after beat. Looks like they were beat earlier in that play and continue to play through. So it's going to be a quad ball turnover to Levi. So Levi's got it, passes it off to Madeline. Madeline's looking around. Madeline passes it off to Levi. Levi looking around now at center. Ing comes up for the defense. Passes it off to Madeline. Madeline looking again back to Levi. Levi shoots center hoop and gets a friendly roll and bounces it in. Oh, the backspin on that shot. Detroit up 20-0. This is the exact kind of start Detroit was looking for that has Chicago shaking their heads saying, what are we doing? Digman off to Ing, going to the left side now. Dodgeball control back in the hands of Detroit. That Michigan beater court looking good. Beater line, excuse me. Ing to Fugate. Fugate on the left side, got nothing. Goes back to Ing. Ing's at the center, and Madeline comes up for a tackle. Trade. Oh, Brown's safe. Ing running to the right, runs around Madeline, goes towards center, fakes out Levi, backhands it in. Looks like the beaters on Detroit got a little out of the play and allowed for an easy goal. Meanwhile, Sue gets beat by Williams, and they save control though. Williams gets beat, ball goes back, the dodgeball goes back into Brown's hands. Detroit's walking it up. Levi's got it at center, near the center. Is looking downfield. He's got Miller behind the hoops. Passes it off, and it's intercepted by Digman. But we're gonna have a penalty on the play here. It looked to me like Levi had Miller behind the hoops on the left side, but he might, from his angle, might have been that pass might have been poached by Digman as well. Detroit, though, having a much better start to this game than the other two. They're up 20-10 at this point. We're about 3 or so minutes into the game. Nope, no penalty on the play, so no call at all. And it looks like Chicago's in a fast break. Oh, Sue misses an easy beat on Digman. And Digman Hail Marys it to Ing. Ing answers the Hail Mary, dodges a ball from Brodeur, runs right hoop, shoots it, and puts it in. That, if you think, hey, that's a U.S. development team play, that's because Brian Ing is on the U.S. development team. Great play there by Ing. Chicago, looks like they're putting up a bit of a press here. Detroit's got the ball. Miller shoots from really far out. No chance. Himmelman's got it, and he's going to try and return fire. And Wolf, oh, Pratt almost with a sneaky steal. They did well on that one, but did not get it. Himmelman across the center line. Dodgeballs are in the hands of Williams and Brown from Chicago, and Sue on the hoops with the third. Ball out, Marasa. Oh, and a laser from Sue to Jarom. And that's a quad ball turnover going to Madlin. All right, line change for Detroit, 20-20 right now, about 4 minutes in. Keegan crosses out of the keeper's own line. Brown gets a free beat on number 3. And Feidner across the center line. He's got a beater behind, doesn't know, passes it off to Marklin. Feidner gets beat. Marklin all by himself. And Chicago fails to take advantage of that. Marklin passes it off to number 3. She fumbles it. Oh, they get beat. And I'm sorry, they fumble it, Lindsey Smyers, and it's turned over. Marasa's got it across the center line. She's looking, passes it off to Jarom. Jarom gets beat, but passes it right before. Himmelman behind the hoops, jumps, shoots, center hoop, nails it. Goal for Chicago, and Chicago is back in the lead, 30-20. So Detroit had a nice 20-0 start, and then Chicago figured it out and is now playing more of what their game usually looks like. Detroit walking it up. They switch their beaters out. Weir and Swanson are in. For Chicago, it's Maroic and Gaines, and they're the ones with dodgeball control right now. Wanis got the quad ball, passes it to the right to Smyers. Smyers, they pass it back up top to Wanis. Wanis is looking around. They've got Feldner on the right. They go back to Smyers. Smyers back to Wanis. Wanis looking around again. He's got Mark. Oh, Detroit managed to get control, though, with that good passing. Wanis left to Feidner. Feidner looking around. Back to Wanis. Wanis looking around. Might have just got a delayed game warning from the ref. To Smyers. Smyers drives in, passes across to wide open Feidner. Feidner shoots over the top. No good, and that's going to go. Oh, wait, Lucas Marklin saves it. Marklin turns around, drives to the hoops. Throws an absolute rocket. Intelligently blocked by Jarom. As the keeper, he's able to lean through the hoop and block it. Usually that'd be a hard shot, how fast it was, but he's smart enough to lean through and block it. Well done, Jarom. So, quad ball recovered by Chicago. Walking down the center pitch. They cross. Himmelman, throws it right at the feet of Jarom. Jarom cannot corral it, and it's out of bounds. Chicago retreats to play D, and they've got dodgeball control with them. Wanis for Detroit will be bringing it up. Wanis looking around. He's got Feidner on his right, still on their own side of the pitch. Crosses the center line at the center of it. Looking around, he's got Feidner to his left, passes it to Feidner. Feidner looking around now, passes back to Wanis. Wanis looking around, he's got Lucas way deep and Smyers on his right. Goes deep to Marklin. Marklin catches it, fires a shot, no good. Not a bad look at all though, especially because it goes right back to Wanis. They can do it again. Meanwhile, bludger control is in the hands of Chicago. And they're passing around. Wanis has got it, gets rid of it before it gets tackled. Oh, we might have an illegal kick there. No, they're saying that. Yep, they're saying that Smyers got to it before the alley did, Manzella, but it is turned over because the kick went to nobody on Detroit, so it is Chicago ball. Meanwhile, line change for Chicago. They're bringing Jamil Hunter back in as a keeper this time, and Scotty Rain on the right side. Liam Zock bringing it down on the left. Detroit still running Weir and Swanson, but the quad balls are the dodgeballs, are in the hands of Kwan and Hoffman on Chicago. Zock bringing it down, looks left, passes it to Rolf. Rolf back to Zock. Zock going down center, passes it off to Scotty on the right. Scotty drives. Oh, left-handed shot, puts it in. Beautiful beat there by Hoffman, timed with the drive and the shot. It looks like they're not calling this good though. Jay, no goal?
No goal.
Why not?
Better angle.
Called no good. It looked like from our angle that it went in, but it didn't. Thank you, Jay. So, no good on that left-handed shot from Scott, from Rain. Good cannon by Scotty, but just a little off target. Juanis, pass it to Finder. Finder, back to Juanis. He's in the center of the pitch. Passes it over to Marlin. Oh, at Marlin's feet, and they're not able to corral it, and it goes out of bounds. And Rain's going to walk it in. Chicago with the chili call, which I am upset about because I am hungry, could go for some chili. Rain walking it down the center of the pitch. He's looking around. They don't know. They're walking slowly. They're crossing center pitch, and they pass to the left to Zoc. Zoc's looking around, passes it back to Scotty. Rain looks around. Oh, goes for a shot, deflected by Marlin. Millie was there for the rebound, but gets instantly beat. And Juanis has it for Detroit, and they're going to cross, and it's, oh, I don't know if that was a beat attempt or not, but it flies back. Juanis runs it into Zoc, gets, tackled, but passes it off. Scotty gets beat despite an awesome 360, and it's recovered by Zoc. Zoc, though, is going to get tackled and beat, and it's going to Feidner. Feidner gets beat, and it's picked up by Hunter. Hunter's got it. Hunter gets beat. Everybody's getting beat. It's like Oprah's giveaway episode. All right, stoppage and play. Juanis just barely crosses the center pitch with the quad ball. We had a lot of beats, a lot of hard beats, maybe a tackle from behind. I don't know. It was a penalty fire sale. We'll find them all out in a bit. So, a lot of crazy action on that play. Score, 30, Chicago, 20, Detroit. Don't entirely know if we expected this to go like this, but Detroit's looking real good on game 3 here. As good as Chicago seems to be following last series where they kind of came out a little flat in game 3 and they paid for it, and Detroit's taking advantage of the same situation. Meanwhile, we got a yellow card here on Juanis. So that's going to be a quad ball turnover back into Millie Hunter's hands. So Juanis hands off the green hand bin to Marklin and goes to the sin bin. Hunter's got the ball, but Swanson's with the loaded arms right next to him. But Quan comes from behind to help out. Hunter to Scotty. Rain to Zoc. Zoc looking around. Back to Rain. Rain goes to the corner, punts it back to Zoc. Zoc fumbles it, but recovers, but gets beat. And there's no chase around. Melanie Roth finally gets it, passes back to Rain. Rain, a long shot to Millie, who catches it, turns, but a gorgeous block by Marklin, who's now the keeper because Juanis was out. What a block by Marklin. Great play by them to save that goal. Not a bad look at all from Hunter, though. All right, Marklin passes it across. It does not cross. That, I think they're going to call a legal reset on Detroit. Not sure if that's what they're calling or if they're calling something else. Yep, they're calling a legal reset. So under MLQ's new rules, they're not very friendly, and basically any opportunity to result in a turnover, they do now. And it looks to me like what happened on that play was Smyers was straddling the line when she deflected it downward, and because she was straddling, and under the new rules, she's now considered to be across.
Lindsay Zabin.
Yep. So when they crossed back over with the quad ball, then it was a illegal reset. So no penalty for them, but they will. This will result in the quad ball going over to Liam Zoc on Chicago. So it seems like Chicago's looking a little flat this game. So Zoc is off room, so Zoc will not get the quad ball. Instead, it will go to Jamil Hunter. Hunter looks like he's going to fast break, and he does. Pass to the cross, intercepted by Love. His fast break was immediately stopped by a surprise beater, number 51, Smiley. Oh, Marlin fires a shot. It's a little off, and it doesn't go in. Spins the hoop, no good, and it's going to be recovered by Rain from Chicago behind the hoops. Rain's got the quad ball. Walk it up. Chicago does a beater exchange. And in now at beater, Ben Peachy. First time we've seen him in that position this year. Nathan Digman bringing it up the pitch. He's about to cross center. Peachy and Oshra with dodgeball control at this point. Passes it to Marasa. Marasa passes it back. Passes it to Emma Vasquez, who cuts. runs into her own beater and loses it. It looks though like the ball was being fumbled between her and Weir, and it accidentally was fumbled through the hoop for a good goal. Refs are going to discuss that, but it looks to me like it's completely accidentally a good goal. Oh, no, it's not. So, it's going to be a blue card on Nathan Digman for using referee language, but the goal is going to be good, which leads me to think he was asking about if it was a good goal or not. So, that's going to be... So, Nathan will serve his 30 seconds in the sin bin, and the ball will go to Daring from Detroit. Chicago doubles their lead, 14-20. And now... Butler, who had been playing keeper all game, is now beating. So, Chicago's not the only one putting new people in the beater game. Daring, walking it up now for Detroit. Crosses mid-pitch. Looking to unload the cannon. Decides to keep it holstered. Looking around, he's got Weir on his left and Maxey on his right. And he fires it behind the hoops to Love, who's immediately beat by a waiting Peachy, and that's going to go out of bounds. Vasquez with the recovery, passes it off to Himmelman, who was going to get beat by 51, but doesn't matter, he's an immune keeper. And he goes on the fast break. Here's Marasa. Marasa misses the redirect. Goal is no good. Recovered by Love, who hands it off to Daring, and it's Detroit ball. Meanwhile, dodgeball play was between Oshra and Peachy, who maintained it. Oshra, Peachy, and Smiley from Detroit, and Chicago maintains dodgeball control, and Nathan Digman is out of the sin bin. And they immediately draw a beat. Daring draws, passes off to Weir. Weir fumbles it. It's recovered by Himmelman. Himmelman is on the fast break now. He's running full speed. No one's going to stop him. Easily goal on the right hoop, 50-20. Chicago starting to pull away from Detroit. Detroit not looking happy on the sidelines. They got 3 coaches wondering what the heck just happened. Meanwhile, keeper from Detroit's taking their time. They cross. Now they're on running fast, running across. They get it down the pitch. Looking around. Avoid a beat, pass it down to Love, who's deep in behind Detroit's line. Pass it to Weir. Weir gets beat going for the shot. It's no good. Deflected by Marasa and Grant Himmelman. Himmelman now walking down. Love trying to play defense. Himmelman passes it off to Digman, and Love retreats to their own keeper zone. Digman walking down center line. Usually keeper wearing chaser headbands now because of his penalty. Walking down the center, passes out to Vasquez on his left. Vasquez takes it down. Missed beat on her. Passes it to Himmelman. Himmelman resets back to a wide open Nathan. Nathan's going to drive forward. He's going to look for center hoop, and then he shoots for right. Love was there, but I think Love bit on the fake pass to the right and gives up an easy goal to Digman. 60-20, and the Chicago's really starting to pull away now. Ryan Sue, meanwhile. Oh, he kicks it diagonally across the pitch. I don't know if they're going to give him kickoff pitch on that one. Looks like they're going to say it was... No! Now Dana, the ref, is going to say it was a kickoff pitch. I could go either way on that one. It was trying to kick back, and he didn't hook it far enough. My thought, though, was there was way too much power in that, and it went really far off pitch. So, unfortunately, 0 for 2. Ryan Sue, honestly, at this point, might just need to work on his soccer skills a little bit. I think that's he missed a kick beat earlier. Hey, Sue! Yeah, between that and the missed kick beat, we got to work on our soccer. Oh, no penalty. We got to work on our soccer skills, though, in the offseason. All right, so refs agreed, no call on that one. Daring bringing it down, walking down middle of the towards the keeper zone. Tries to fake out Jerem, runs to the right, shoots it over, but it was a pass. Oh, pass to Love, but Love has nowhere to go with it. It's intercepted by Rain. Rain looking like maybe it was a fast break here. They've got J-Rum on the right, go to Benzella instead. Benzella passes it back to Rain. She gets beat and goes to retreat. Meanwhile, Rain runs to J-Rum. J-Rum passes it off. No one there. Blocked by Love and intercepted. Detroit's got the ball back in Daring's hands. Chicago looks like they've been running a little too much on that. Kind of got caught in this no man's zone between this was a fast break and it's not a fast break, but we're not going to slow it down enough to run our offense, and it results in a turnover. So bludger control in the hands of the wonderful Michigan Beaters from Detroit. They have really held control a lot longer than I think most people would expect this game. Daring, looking down. He's got Miller behind the hoops. Pump fakes, looks around, fakes again, passes it off to Nick Love. Love on the right, all by themselves. Looking around, slowly moves down. Hisu with a almost beat. Oh, pass worked around. Oh, but the second one is a missed shot, and it's recovered by Jarom. Jarom crosses the midline, running full speed. He's running around, not in a good spot, and he senses it, passes it back to Rain. Doesn't get beat though. Rain passes it to wide open Manzella. Oh, but Manzella might have been beat before she got released. It was a great look, but an even better beat by Bro Durher. Somehow managed to avoid a hoop, and I want to say beat Manzella before she released the quad ball. We're going to see what the refs say. Goal is good. She got rid of it just in the nick of time. It was impressive timing on that play by Chicago and Bro Durher. She was just a tick too late. 70-20 Chicago. That's about 30 unanswered for Chicago. Looking very good. No, 40 unanswered, excuse me, for Chicago. Actually 70. Detroit scored the first two and then forgot how to score. So hopefully they remember or they're going to be in trouble. Daring, bringing it down. Scotty Rain on that center hoop, not letting Detroit have that easy shot like they've had for most of the game and all of last game. Daring, looking around. Sue, maintaining bludger control again. Looks like they're going to switch into a 1.5. Deep pass to Miller. Might be able to save it, but they should have a defender on him. Fortunately, size advantage for Miller helps him out, and now we've got a call on the play. Don't know what we're going to see. Looks like the ref's looking around. They're going to discuss it. He's holding a yellow card. Yep, illegal wrap on Ryan Sue. I saw that. I was thinking it might be contact from behind, might have been stationary. Refs lean towards they were not stationary. Enter the sin bin for a minute. So that's going to be a quad ball and a dodgeball turnover. So quad ball is now in Manzella's hands on the back left side of their own hoops. And she's going to turtle, and Brown's going to come clean up, and it's going to go back from Manzella to the keeper, Jarom. Jarom's looking down the pitch, decides, it's not worth a fast break. We're going to walk this one up slowly. So the dodgeballs right now were in the hands of Brown and Caleb Williams, but Williams tossed it back so that they could run 1.5. And they decide against it and go back for it, making Caleb run for no good reason. That's all right. Rolf's got it. She's dancing around the top of the line. Passes it off to Manzella. Manzella, same thing. Passes it back to Rolf. Rolf goes in for a drive. Decides against it. Passes it to Manzella. Manzella with the shot's no good. Gets picked up by Hunter, who dunks it in for a good goal. It seems like the refs gave Miller a pass on his hoop interference on that one. But no matter. Hunter gets the easy goal, and 80 to Chicago, 20 Detroit now. Chicago's starting to find their rhythm, and they've got dodgeball control as well. Sue gets beat, trying to make something happen. Love dodges the dodgeball and somehow goes back for the quad ball. Shoots center hoop, no good, but pass is deflected by Pratt, and they manage to recover it before it goes to the line. She comes back. She's got Marasa in front of her and passes it off to George. George, not knowing it, gets beat on the right side. Same thing happens to Marasa on Chicago. Pratt picks it back up, tosses it to Nick Love with a one-handed catch and a defender fake and then a backhand. Nick Love, wonderful play so far today. I would try to get that ball in Nick's hands more often. Love is just looking great. I think this is the chaser that really Detroit has needed, especially with Wasser out, to just make plays. 17:37 game time? Thank you. Game time is 17:40 right now. So Chicago's improved their defense, only giving up 3 so far, but offense a little lacking, only at 18. Marasa fakes the drive in, passes back to Collins. Collins gets wrapped. Let's go. Marasa passes across to Ralph. Ralph's not in the hoops, but she returns it. Good play by her not to lose that ball, trying to dunk on a player in out of position. Cole passes it. Oh, there's a beat, and Ralph gets it in. Wonderful beat on that play by Meroic, and on that play, Ralph, beautiful read as well to see that the beat was there, and she shoots it on a wide open hoop. Great play. Great beat by Meroic and a great read by Rolf to see that play there. 90-30. Madline bringing it down for Detroit. Passes it off to Jack Levy on his right. Levy goes across through a wide open, to a wide open Miller, who scores on sheer will through Hunter and Rolf from Chicago. Goal is good. And Chicago will regain possession up 90-40. Hunter runs through Pratt, crosses center line. Pratt's back for more. They've got a good wrap. Hunter shakes it off and then gets beat from behind. Turned over to Madlin from Detroit. Detroit's got the ball, and Detroit's got two more as they've got quad dodgeball control right now. Madlin bringing it down a little bit on the right side, headed towards the keeper zone. Looking around, crosses back towards center, passes to 42 again, and 42 hooks it around and puts it in the hoop for an easy goal. It seems that 90-50 Detroit, it seems that number 42 Miller is a very large person, and they're attacking the weak side of Chicago's defense, where they've got some smaller players on that side, and they are not having good luck stopping number 42 Andrew Miller, especially when these beaters from Detroit are keeping them busy, and right now even have bludger control. They're really preventing that easy beat to stop them from happening. Meanwhile, Diggy drives in, nobody stops him, so he'll take the easy shot at center hoop for an easy goal. 10-5, Chicago's in the lead, and to add to it, they just got bludger control back from Ryan Sue, who is in a battle and gets beat and is now going to have to retreat back. Not looking good for Detroit on this one, as they don't have bludger control and they just got beat, and this is going to be the last possession going into halftime. So, Brodeur followed closely by Madlin on offense. They're both carrying. Madlin crosses center line, passes it off to Levi. Brodeur moves center to cover him. Back to Madlin. Madlin looking around. He's got Pratt buried in the corner, and he looks to her. Williams goes out, gets the cheap beat, but Diggy tries to intercept it, knocks it out. Looks like we're going to have a discussion. So, quad ball's going to go back to Madlin. Madlin inbounds it, walks it in. So, even though it's 20-minute mark, that's not going to be the stoppage. It's going to be a new drive has to start for the stoppage to occur. Ball's with Levi's hand on the right side, sitting behind Brodeur. Looking around, Brown and Brodeur are dancing. Pass it off to Madlin. Madlin's got it. Brodeur misses a beat on Williams, and that's going to spell trouble for Detroit. Pass it out to Pratt on the left side. Pratt drives forward and gets easy beat by Brown, but gets the pass off to Madlin. Madlin's pass is intercepted by Diggy. Diggy's going to have a fast break, but not right now because it's going to be the intermission. We'll see how many brooms mysteriously move forward during intermission. So, in comes Derek Parker, looking for the trifecta. No catches, probably because, this old man's sitting here and can't seek against him, but we won't hold that against him. I'm just kidding. So, right now, score is 50, Detroit, 10, Indy. That's Chicago. Oh, they're going to kill me for that. Chicago has only 10 points so far. That's the lowest amount of points they've scored yet this game, but their defense has only given up 50, which is an improvement over game one. Detroit, meanwhile, had a little bit of success as of late with that Michigan beater line. But still, they're going to need some help this game if they want to stay in it. Also, and it's been noticeable in the past how the difference in chasers, where Chicago's chaser depth is just a little better than Detroit's, allows Chicago to really take advantage of flag runner on pitch play and really run up the score when the beaters are too busy on Derek Parker on the flag runner to really stop them. And Nathan completes the fast break with an easy goal. It is, I would assume, somewhere around 12 points right now. I don't know who's counting. New seeker in for Chicago, Liam Zock. Detroit, Lucas Markland again, who's been here for a while. Liam close, knocks the tail off but doesn't catch it. Meanwhile, there's another fast break for Chicago. Diggy runs by. Underhand pass to a wide open Manzella. Oh, that was my move, but I like it. Oh, camera gets taken out by a beat. Oh, I think we're back. All right, that's cool. 1 down. Gorgeous beat. Anyways, fast break goal right there on Diggy to Nathan Digman to Manzella. And Detroit's got the ball now. Lots of beater action around the beater. Brown gets beat. It looks like Detroit's gonna have control right here. Some action at the center hoops, a couple beats, and J-Rum winds up with the ball, ends up with a fast break for an easy goal. Chicago with a quick 3 goals, and suddenly it's 130-50. Liam coming back for Derek Parker. Derek Parker again. Oh, steals his broom. Someone called the police. That was highway robbery. Anyways, Detroit maintaining dodgeball control, but Jack Levi's got it. The quad ball passes behind the hoops to Ethan Wanis. Wanis is looking around. Gets wrapped up by Rain, but Rain loses the broom. Drives forward, and Wanis with the dunk and the goal. That's the first goal in flag runner on pitch time for Detroit. Meanwhile, some more looks. Pass. Oh, no good on that shot from J-Rum. Couldn't tell if that was a pass or a shot, but it looks like it doesn't matter either way. It was no good. It went out behind the hoops. More beater action. We're getting a lot of good looks from both teams right now. Bludger control is in the hands of Chicago. Oh, but they're about to lose it. Great beat there by Smiley.
No, that's 19's out of bounds.
Great beat right there by Smiley to regain Bludger control.
Hold on, no, 50. That's no.
Okay, some manipulation here, but it looks like it's going to be Detroit's going to end up with the ball. All right, meanwhile, in quad ball play, it looks like there's a stop by Chicago, and now J-Rum's running down the pitch to do a fast break. And looks like, yep, easy. I don't know if that was a shot by J-Rum or a pass to wide open Manzella, but either way, it was a goal for Chicago. That's 4 goals in a probably 3-minute span. They are really running up the score. Meanwhile, Oshra coming here. Oh, Derek Parker with a quick deny and the throw down. Just throwing him down like a rag doll. Derek Parker, absolutely no respect for these seekers. Parker wants his complete game, perfect score, and he's he's about 2 innings away. Meanwhile, Jack Levi passes it, looks for the shot, nails it dead center. Man, Chicago is looking good to win this game, but they got to figure out how to stop these easy 2 shots on the center goal. Meanwhile, Chicago's up 140-70. They're touchdown away with that goal from Detroit. Oshra getting some good looks at Parker. Not that a good look exists against Parker as he's shown today. So, ball behind the hoops, fumbled by Chicago, recovered by, who's that? Looks like recovered by number 3, Smyers. Smyers holding that ball tighter than a lid on a pickle jar, hands it off to her teammate Wanis. Wanis has got it, the immune keeper, and they're walking down slowly. Weir sent back to hoops by a beat by Gaines, and poor Weir just doing, I feel like he's doing wind sprints down here. Meanwhile, Wanis walking it back up the hoop. Bludger control is in Detroit's hands. Oshra just deep rooms himself, saves Sue the throw. Wanis passes it to a wide open number 3 who fakes out Marasa and puts it back in. Detroit bringing it within 6, down 14-8. Detroit's definitely feeling the momentum right here. Meanwhile, they're running some press on Nick Love, not successful. Melanie Roth's turn now at the house of Derek Parker, which currently has no admittance and no vacancy. Right now, quad ball is in Vasquez's hand, dishes it off to Scotty on the left side. Rain's driving down the left side, looking around. Oh, he gets beat behind the hoops. What a throw by Sue. Recovered by Smyers, who then gets beat, and it looks like the quad ball is in the hands of the keeper, though, so that ends that. And dodgeball is going to be in the back of the hands of Detroit once again. Detroit starting to feel something. If they could get a beat and a catch. Oh! And I spoke it into existence. Markland. Finally. It looks like Markland deflected the hand and the arm of Parker and fell down forward and got just enough push to get around and grab it from behind. Oh, that catch looked clean to me. Oh, man, and Detroit is going to be feeling it now. Great catch by Markland. Parker so close to the complete game. Oh, it's like 2 outs left in the bottom of the 9th, and he just couldn't finish it. So that brings the score to 120-140. Oh, Detroit almost puts another one in. Smyers has got the rebound. Oh, they get beat though. All right, so actual score is, 140 Chicago, 120 Detroit. But all the momentum is in Detroit's corner right now. I'd be curious to see if they do, and yes, they do. Chicago kind of moving towards one of their A chaser lines. They bring Digman back in. Digman's got it on the left flank. Passes it back to Zoc. Zoc's looking around center. Passes it to Fugate on the right wing. She's looking around. She's driving. Yep. Oh, Zoc with a shot. Deflected, no good. Picked up by Juanis. Juanis has got it in their own hoop zone. Meanwhile,
So this beat did happen before.
yeah, okay, the ref's calling this beat on Sue happening. This is going to be an interesting play. Detroit, I don't know what the penalty is, but Detroit's got a Oh no, for Chicago, yellow card for playing after beat, and that's going to be yellow card on Quan. This is going to hand bludger or dodgeball control right to Detroit, potentially with a fast break opportunity. This is really good for Detroit. Quan's trying to speak his case. Usually doesn't work. I don't see this one being any different. So, it's not. So, Juanis is going to have the ball. He's going to have and he passes it off to Love, and Detroit looks like they're going to fast break. Juanis, though, not running with the team. Levi, though, has got it, and he shoots it left hoop. Detroit 130, Chicago 140. Detroit needs 3 more for the win. Chicago only needs 2. They are right back in this game. For the first time all series, Chicago's got to be a little worried about what's going on here. Meanwhile, dodgeball control is still in the hands of Smiley and Sue from Detroit. Nathan Digman's got it at the center outside the keeper zone. He's looking right, runs right, goes back, passes it off to Fugate on the left. She catches it. All right, she's looking, gives it up to Digman. Digman shoots center hoop. They're going to discuss no good or not due to beat before, but there's a Juanis on that play came a little close or too close, stepped out of the keeper zone line. And they're calling no good beat before. Detroit, with dodgeball control, has a chance to tie the game right now. This is crazy. Sue and Smiley. Smiley, not Sue's regular beater partner, but she did work. Kudos to her. She was wonderful on that. Her and Smiley looks great. And now we're going to see if Brodeur can keep it up. Levi walking down the pitch, across the center line, looking for a goal. Looking to tie it up for the first time since the first 3 or so minutes of this game. Oh, we got a back to hoops on Williams, and we're gonna have a delayed penalty. Detroit's gonna have a real good shot here. Levi shoots it, it's no good, but. Oh. So Detroit, I don't think was entirely realizing what happened there. So, I believe there's going to be a yellow card play after beat on Williams, which is going to reset the quad ball to Detroit. But Detroit, I don't think, realized this, because if they had, and they would have put a wide open on-broom chaser standing next to the hoops, they'd have an easy restart of play here. But there is no call, so maybe they played the right play because they'd be out of position then. So, instead, it's going to be, scramble for the third ball. Detroit's going to press. Williams retrieves the third dodgeball, yeets it back to the front. Meanwhile, the quad ball is in Himmelman's hands, down by the keeper zone. He's going to run across the middle, and he shoots a bad shot. He skied that ball so high, I would check his eyes after the game. Now, it's coming back into play with Juanis. So, this is Himmelman's first series, and I think you're starting to see that, new game jitters right there, because he just tried to run and make a play when really they had the ability to slow down the offense with having bludger control and try and slow it down a bit and make a good play. So, bludger control right now in Chicago's hands. Williams and Brown in. Brodeur goes for a beat, misses it. Sue, it looks like, nope, Sue's not beat. Intercepted by, Zoc intercepts a pass though. Diggy out of nowhere. Diggy with a fast break. Zach hits him with an easy goal on that. Wonderful play on that one by Chicago. Zach looked like he had maybe a decent one-on-one shot, if the beater came to help him out. Instead, Nathan Digman ran like he was being chased by wild bees, made it to the left hoop wide open for an easy pop dunk. Again, this is where the depth of the chaser squad for Chicago comes into play, because Detroit's are probably a little tighter, not ready to get back to defense on that play, and as a result, wide open pass to Diggy for an easy goal. So Chicago now needs 1 to win this. Detroit needs 3. So no penalty on the play, just a dodgeball turnover, and Brown's gonna go acquire it, I believe. Yes. Beat by Smyers. Oh no, they're gonna say she was beat before. Oh, TCD is very quick on the whistle on these. Oh no, it looks very bad for Detroit here. They've got Madeline coming across, but Williams can beat them. It's going to be rough for Detroit to try and stop this. Oh, but Diggy fumbles the ball. He just rolled a natural one. That's the only explanation for that drop. So, Digman's got the ball on the right side. They're starting to recover. Passes to Zach. Zach's got some looks up center. Oh, he shoots center hoop. And Levi jumps, catches, and says, thank you. Thank you for that easy pass to me. I did not... No pump fake whatsoever on Zach, and Levi read him like a book. I think he finished it on to the next one. So, Madeline walking up center, looking around. He's got Broder in the front. Broder and Quan both trade. It looks like Tim's going to recover it. Oh, pass to Smyers, though, too high. It's going to go out of bounds. So, Frugate's going to walk it in. She looks for a pass, looking around. Oh, she got trouble. She gets tackled. Good tackle by Smyers, but Smyers gets beat. They're going to maintain the quad ball, but it looks like they did some work and they might get dodgeball control out of it. No. Team USA beater Matt Brown says no thank you. So, Brodeur gets beat. Nope, just a sub for Maroc. Meanwhile, there's a turnover on Chicago's offense. Trying to get past to Mazzella, and she fumbles it. Ball is going to go into the hands of Madeline. Madeline's bringing it down. So Levi's bringing it down again. Score is 150. Chicago, they need one more to hit the set score of 160 for the win. Detroit, 130 though, nipping at their heels. Levi crosses the center line. He's looking around. Dodgeball's in the hands of Maroic and Brown from Chicago. Levi passes to the left. Smyers drives in. Doesn't have anything. Passes back out to Levi at the top. Levi's looking around. Oh, good speed. Throws up a shot. No good. Byron on the pass break. Byron's got nobody behind him. And Byron runs it in. And they're calling it in. That's the game. Byron on the fast break goal. That fast break, that was the bread and butter. Chicago's bread and butter for the first 10 or 15 minutes of this game when they really run up the score. Great finish, though, by Detroit. Honestly, I think if Detroit played this well against Minneapolis, they'd have stolen the game. So it's curious to see what Detroit could take from this series. I think they played well, especially this Game 3 when they got that great catch from Markland on Derek Parker, who was this close to finishing out the perfect weekend. That beater core of the Michigan beater core of Ryan, Sue, and Ray Brodeur really controlled a lot of the dodgeball control for a large part of the game. So if you picked Brown over Brodeur for the pick'em, I don't like your odds, I'm not gonna lie. So Chicago, though, when their fast break offense was fast breaking, they looked great and they were really unstoppable, but man, a lot of problems guarding that center hoop. So from the Corner Ballpark in Detroit, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one.